Yo, yo.
All right, can you hear me? Make sure.
I can.
So,
Can you hear me? How you going, young man?
I think I'm the same age as you.
Oh, bullshit, man. How old are you?
46.
Fuck off. Are you serious?
Yep, I've been playing MK since the very first one in the arcade. That's why I have a lot of experience in this debate.
Holy shit, man. That's great. No way, dude.
Yeah,
You got like you got oil of Ulan or some shit, man. Remember that shit?
yeah,
Remember
I
those
do.
ads? Oil of Ulan to keep you young.
I
To
do.
keep you young, bro.
I do. So I saw your last video. I saw your debate with Foxy. Saw your debate with Diddle. Um,
By the way, just to clarify, that was not set up, right? I was just streaming, and then I don't know if somebody was sharing it, and then like Biddle appeared in the chat, and he wanted in, and then we did that, and then a little bit went by, and then Brusque wanted in, and we did that, and then Foxy showed up, and then he jumped in. So it was a
oh,
mad day, dude.
Brusque Poet.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, if you want to
that was a
talk,
big day.
if you want to talk about shells, he's one of the top ones.
Listen, before you start, man, I just wanted to like we're not live or anything. We're just talking, dude. So I don't know if you wanted it live, but I'm happy just having a chat, dude.
Well, I'm gonna live stream it on my stream if you want to pop in the chat
Okay.
on Twitch.
Oh, that's fine. Oh, you do it then. You do whatever you want to do on your end, man. That's cool. No, because there's a guy that has been coming in lately, in the chats. His name's Breezy something, Breezy, right? And he was talking up. He said that you were back in the day MK9 scene with Perfect Legend and stuff. And I'm like, oh shit, that's awesome,
Yeah, I
right?
was probably one of
I had no idea.
yeah, I was a pro player for a long time in Mortal Kombat. So I hear a lot of points of view. I think the most common one that gets debated with you is you feel this game is made for the pro player, and I've heard a lot of. I don't really know, because it gets bounced around so much, you know, in between up block or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
An up block is really not even a point, right? So,
yeah.
so my whole thing is, in your like opinion, if you were to say, "Hey, this is why I honestly feel this game was made for the pro player," what would you like say?
So, I mean, obviously, it's only one piece of the whole puzzle I have issue with the game. So, as far as the combat goes, and maybe you can clarify this, like, since like you've been playing as you know, as old as I am now. So something changed in the engine with MK9. Like, I loved how MK9 felt. Don't get it, don't get me wrong. Like, I know there's obviously broken shit in every fighting game, but I loved how MK9 felt. And then when Injustice came out and then MK10, something felt different with the engine. Something changed. Something felt sticky, you know, and all that sort of stuff. So I've had problems with whatever this NetherRealm engine has been since Injustice, right? Going to what you just said. So, for a while now, I've seen comments on like X and other places where they'll say things like, and I think Perfect Legend actually said something today too. He's like, oh, everyone was complaining about, you know, nobody had combos to do an MK11. And now you got combos and everyone's complaining. And I'm thinking to myself, who? Like, who was asking for these combos? Like, I mean, you know, there's combos in the game. I can pull up the list or I can make my own, you know, that sort of thing. But who was asking for that? And I started to notice that there seemed to be this sort of like pattern. And then you see feedback from people on forums and everyone once MK1 started, you know, hitting online, and everyone's like, this is just nuts. Like, I can't seem to get out of these massive damage combos. You know, all the pro players are going, yeah, this is fantastic. We've got all this freedom. It's amazing. We can do all this sort of stuff. And that's when I'm thinking, okay, so it seems like it's making a certain subset of people very happy. And the majority are going, this is fucked. Like, this is just crap, you
All
know?
right. So
Because from, yeah,
the
yeah,
combos.
you go ahead.
Let's start with the combos because there's a couple of things here. I know you want the combos. Actually, that was more the casual player. So
Yep.
in MK11, a lot of us were just bored with the game. You know, there's supposed to be a game in which we had limitless options with the variation system, but then you had
Yep.
some moves that aren't too good that were two slots, so we couldn't even fit them in because they weren't good enough. So even with
Yep.
a variation, a customizable variation system, the game was still very linear.
Yeah, I hated that
The
too. I
reason
hated the
the reason why characters like Cabal and Jackie and other Fujin felt so good is because while the rest of the game was kind of like doing down one and throw, these characters played their own individual game. So
yeah.
their experience with the game was not as boring as somebody else, another character, who basically could do. So the pro players, a lot of us felt like the game is just very, very boring. There's not as much substance to
Mm,
it. It's just very watered down. The
yep.
casual player was the one that was really talking about, I can't do my cool combos. Um, so
What would be an example of that? What's an example of that?
um, I think a lot of the casual players were referencing some of the ridiculous combos in MKX. And then they're like,
Okay. Oh, okay.
I can't do any of these. It's just the same boring, watered down combo over and over and over again. So basically, the game
Yep.
failed on massive levels. It failed to
Yep.
maintain the pro audience because they were bored with how the gameplay was
Yep.
watered down, and then the casual player felt like there's not much creativity in their combo route. So I don't think the casual complained about damage, but I think they said that their combo routes did not have that much creativity. So
Yeah.
that was the
Okay. That's
complaint.
fine. Yep.
That was the complaint
Yep.
on the
Okay.
casual end.
Yep. Yep.
I don't think
No, I
anybody
see
ever
that.
said we want. I don't think anybody ever said we want 70% combos.
Yep.
I don't think it ever went that route. I don't think anyone said that. It's just that when the game
Yeah.
launched, you started to have some 50, 60% combos.
Yeah. Okay. So to add to that, um, O'Diddle was like, oh, all these defense mechanics were shit. They're all punishable. They're all shit, and blah blah blah. And I'm literally saying to him, I said, look, they were fine for me. Like they got me out of some tight situations when I was playing online. I didn't see any issue with them. I was fine with that. And he was just dumbstruck, like I was lying. Same when I was saying to with Foxy about playing MK9 online because I played it back in the PS3 day. So we couldn't sell it in Australia, so we imported it.
Hmm.
And then I was playing against any Australians that had also imported it, but also against like New Zealanders because it's literally right across the water from us. And it was great connections. I didn't have any problem. And they're literally sitting there going, "Oh, you're full of shit. There's no way. There's just no way." And I'm saying, "No, it was great." So I don't understand why these guys are saying you're completely wrong when I'm saying, "No, I had a good time with this character." Like Foxy rage quit when I said, "Oh, I used Cabal and I had fun." Because I love Cabal from MK3 because he's fucking cool, not because of like some, massive amount of damage or freedom that you just spoke about. I'm just like, Cabal, awesome. Can't wait to use him again. Looking forward to it. I haven't used him since MK3. That's it. But his reaction was probably probably what you just said, that, certain characters had this complete freedom to play however you want versus everyone else, and that felt like a sore point for him. It was
Well,
so bizarre, man. I'm just like, I just
let,
like the dude.
let me
Like, you
ask
know
you
what
a
I mean?
question on the defensive mechanics from MK11. Give me some examples of the ones that you wished were still in this game.
Well, how far can we go? Oh, sorry, from MK11. Well, I felt the wake ups were better. Like, because going back to MK9, it felt like you could do any special move wake up. Now, again, obviously you're a pro player, right? So there's only a small percentage of you guys that can look in that and go, no, that's actually shit. I can really counter that and blah blah blah. But again, for the average person that was enjoying it and playing online, I could wake up any attack depending on where I was, and I thought, oh, that could work out. Can I wake up doing Scorpion Spear and grab them fast enough? Especially if it's like enhanced. And then MK10 came out. I didn't play a whole lot of MK10, but I understand what you're saying between MK10 and MK11. That disconnect with people going, wow, it feels like I can't do shit. So in MK11, they changed the wake up mechanics of the two types. Like the shorter one, and then obviously the bigger one that has, as Cabal is the example. Like he's got that real quick one that he does, and then he's got that big wind up with his two hook swords. So yeah, you can absolutely get smashed when you do that bigger one. But that and the armor rolls, like out of the air, has helped me. Right, so I go, and then of course when MK1 dropped, I'm like, wow, there's really fuck all here. It's all basically like block, counter, block, counter. Now, and that's fine because I suppose you could argue that like that's how it used to be in classic MK. Like classic MK, somebody throws a harpoon, you block it, uppercut, block it, throw, whatever you want to do, right? You're watching what they're doing. You know, they do a freeze. If you're fast enough, you block it, uppercut. You know, that sort of thing. I play very visually. I don't do math and frame data and all that shit. I just look. I'm so old school with the way I think and view stuff that I'm constantly watching what they're doing and seeing whether or not something will, work. So with MK11's mechanics, at first I kind of didn't like that they were set, like they were predetermined, like wake ups. But after a while I got used to it and it was fine. The armored rolls was out of the air was fine. That's helped me with stuff when people getting a bit combo heavy on me. But I never did the tech rolls. But I hear people like the tech rolls. And so O'Diddle's like, no, it's all shit. All of it was shit. It was all taken out.
Okay,
right?
so let me explain what that means. He says it was all shit.
Yep.
So let me actually explain it to you. Because I understand if you say something's all shit, it doesn't really give you an explanation. Yep. So let me explain it to you. So you're online, you're playing for fun, and these mechanics get you out of these big combos, etc. But you have to understand, at the highest level, they're going to abuse things in the game, and they abuse them for reasons they weren't put in the game for. So, for example, you're on the ground. You have the option to roll forward or backwards. To you, you say, okay, you know what? I can get off the ground. I can whatever. So the problem is, when MK11 first came out, the person on the ground could roll forward, backwards, could do a long delay or short delay wake up, could wake up, jump, wake up with buttons, wake up with up 3, wake up with up 2. So the person on the ground had 8 options to which he could guess from, compounded by you cannot meaty somebody with highs in Mortal Kombat. So you have to use these slower, long recovering mids to really properly check somebody on the ground. So the person on the ground actually had more advantage at high levels than the person standing, because if I go to check you with a high and you duck and wake up with 1-2, I can't hit you with a high because the game doesn't allow it. So I use mids. You do forward roll, my mid whiffs. What happens? I'm recovering. You combo me. I respect your options. You get up with buttons, wake up, jump. So basically, the person that was on the ground had more combo routes than the person standing over them, and that was the problem. While to you, you say these mechanics were defensive, but the top players were abusing them for offensive purposes. Even the breakaway, we say, hey, I was able to get out and my bar regenerates. But top players were breaking away at certain times where for you hitting them, they were getting up and comboing you. You know what I mean? So that was the problem. So while, the defensive mechanics did help defensively, it also caused a whole bunch of problems, which said this shouldn't happen. Nobody should lose because they hit you, right? If getting out of a combo was one thing, getting hit and then you falling to the ground and you get a guaranteed combo on me, that should never happen. And a lot of those problems happened in MK11. That's why those mechanics weren't good.
Do you think that's now the flip side? Do you think it's now gone too far in the other direction? Like, listen, I'm not advocating that they return. What I've always advocated this whole time is the fact that it seems, not just myself, but a lot of people, as soon as they get caught in that combo, right? And it's only, again, you go, at least on PC, I don't know if you play on PC, but at least on PC, there's a very tiny subset of characters that are obviously being used and abused because they're so fast. They're just like, I don't know, man. It's just like a hurricane. They're just like bang, 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 right? And so they're constantly in you, and that's fine, right? Like, sometimes I can beat them, sometimes I can't. Again, never said I was an expert, but I see what I see, and I see what other people are saying, and it feels like, so I'm 100% on board with what you're saying, with what you said. I didn't know all of those mechanics, but you also said one important factor, at a high level. So, how do we get the high level and everything else to come together where it feels like it's okay for everyone? Does that make sense?
Yeah, see, so that's the issue, basically. So the real issue is here. And when you said, where's the counterbalance, when I heard you talking, it seemed like you were saying, listen, these players, they get in on you, they're doing their pressure, they're doing their mix, you get hit one time, half your life is gone, and you're saying, where is the counterbalance to that? Well, here's the problem. The problem is there were characters like in MK9 that used to be the opposite of a Johnny Cage. They would make it hard for him to get in, be it zoning or keep away characters. The problem is
Yep.
the casual player said, this is ridiculous. I don't want to get in on
Yep.
these fireballs. I don't want to get in on
Yep.
these keep away characters. So what happened? NRS says, okay, we're going to remove all your options to keep somebody out. So what do you think happens?
Yep.
The problem is it was the casual player that asked for these things to be removed. And then it was one of those be careful what you wish for. Because now they're saying, well, now Johnny Cage gets in, he does whatever he wants. Where's my option to keep him out? Well, you have the option. The problem is a casual player that doesn't like to be offensive or always in your face. They want to space out. They want to bait things. There used to be characters, archetypes that gave you those abilities. Not only did casuals not want to play them, they didn't want to fight them. So when you remove the opposite of the spectrum of Johnny Cage, he doesn't have any issue getting in anymore. He gets in for free. Keep in mind, in the beta, who was the only character nerfed from the beta to the final game? Sub-Zero. What was his move? The Ice Clone. It's a defensive move. Casual said, get it out. Kenshi hits you one time, brings out Sento, and the match is over. That was in the beta too. You know what casuals say? Good shit.
So when you say the casuals are asking for this stuff, can you tell me where they were saying it? Right? Because I have never seen casuals like crying about, like not crying, but like saying that they had these massive issues. So was it people on the forums that were doing this back in the day?
It's all over the place. It's Twitter as well. So like to Foxy's point, anytime some pro player won with something, it was complained about and nerfed right away. First major in MK9 was won by Sub-Zero. He was nerfed immediately. I won that major. They nerfed Sub-Zero right away. They've nerfed a handful of characters in that game. MKX, the first tournament was won by Raiden. They nerfed Raiden immediately. I won ECT with Aquaman. What I used with Aquaman, he was still super top regard, but they nerfed what was used to win. When Foxy was dominating with Deadshot, they nerfed Deadshot immediately. Deathstroke was nerfed immediately in Injustice 1, Deadshot in Injustice 2. Anything that was winning was Cassie Cage in MK11, nerfed right away. Gearus, nerfed 100 times. Anything that was winning was nerfed.
So they're doing it on both ends, both the casuals and the pro players, correct?
Yes. Foxy, thanks so much for the raid, brother. I appreciate it. Yes, so basically, like what Foxy was telling you, everything that was nerfed, the pro player is playing for money. So there's no possible way the pro player would want what he is using to win money taken out of the game.
Yep.
So that was...
Look, I understand. Yeah, like I understand that, but from the other perspective, you've got to see a lot of people looking at them and going, well, they only care about what they can get out of it. You know, when they talk down to other people saying you don't know what you're talking about. And look, that's probably because they do have a lot more knowledge. Obviously, you have an absolute shit ton more knowledge than I could even fathom. But is the consumer happy? Is this going to be a game that they can go, this feels fun, this feels fair? Not just obviously on this point, but a whole bunch of other was in the game itself anyway. So that's the problem, right? So you said that casuals call for these nerfs, and then when pro players are winning with this stuff, they then those things get nerfed. But there's this massive divide between the pro scene that tells everyone else you don't know what you're talking about, which I do understand. Obviously, Foxy and O'Diddle, no offense, but those guys were assholes. Like, you know, the way they talk. Like, I saw people on my chat who came in that were fans of theirs, shocked at seeing the way that they were talking, right? Because they've never seen that before, right? So that doesn't help either. You're doing great. You're explaining things. I'm not disagreeing with you. It's awesome. Right? So, this is the proper conversations that should be having, not coming in and going, feeling like I'm threatening their livelihood because I'm saying, hey, you know, from other people's perspective, they're looking up and they're seeing pro players getting the retweets, getting the ear of NRS, getting the ear of Ed Boon, and everyone else is like, okay, but we're in the game, we're getting slaughtered.
But I would disagree with that
just
because,
look, in general,
Mortal Kombat 11 was a monumental, not financially, but as far as for gameplay-wise, it was a terrible game. Mortal Kombat, to say who had the ear of Ed Boon, Mortal Kombat 11 was literally made for the casual player. They basically took out everything that a casual player complained about. And keep in mind...
From MK10?
from everything.
Okay.
And
Can you give examples just
Sub-Zero
like
doesn't
so
have
I
his ice
know?
clone
Yep. Okay. Yep.
because the casuals hate that move. It is well
Okay.
documented they hate that move.
I love it actually. I do.
And
I love that move.
you had players abusing Shiva Stomp, and the pro players.
Oh yeah, I remember
Hold
that.
on,
Yeah, I
but the
remember
pro
that part.
players for the longest time, they were tweeting Ed Boon, giving him videos saying, "Get this out of the game," and it stayed in the game. The only
Yep.
thing that got Shiva Stomped nerf was an AT&T tournament for big time streamers, and a girl who has never played the game was crying as she gets stomped on over and over and over again, and NRS says, "Oh, this is a bad luck, we'll nerf it." So
Okay.
despite all the pro players saying this is stupid, they didn't care. The only
Okay.
thing that got it nerfed was a crying girl who's a casual, and they said, "Oh, okay, well, we'll nerf it." So they will always respond to the casual demand. NRS, they don't give a shit what the pro player says. They do not. To us, to NRS, the pro player, our opinion doesn't even matter. It honestly, it does not even matter. Mortal
So
Kombat
what you're
11,
saying?
it was watered down
So
because the casual player wanted all these things taken out of the game. These
so
defensive
when?
tools you talk about are in
Yeah.
MK one, the universal defensive tools, because fighting games are all about making reads. If you make a read, someone's going to do Baraka's back three, whatever it is. You delay wake up, you blow it up,
Yeah.
right? And if he
Yeah.
respects your option to delay wake up, then you can get it right away and get away, or start your own offense, right? But
Yeah.
there are certain characters that just have default defensive tools in their tool set, right? That make
Yeah.
it tough for people to get in, make it tough for them to pressure you and get their combo started, right?
Yep.
All of that was taken out of the game because the casuals said, we don't want to deal with it.
Okay.
So that really is the problem. The offense is also watered down from what it used to be. The offense in this game is powered by cameos. Because if you took the cameos out of this game, the offense would be complete trash.
Yep.
So without Kung Lao's low hat on the ground or calling striker every 2 minutes or every 2 seconds,
Yep.
the
Yep.
offense in this game is extremely watered down. So the truth is the offense in this game is actually underpowered and extremely linear because it's only powered by 2 cameos. And the
Yep.
defensive characters don't even exist because the casuals complained they didn't want them. And NRS
Yep.
is afraid to power creep the cameos and power creep the characters to all do something different because they're worried about the complaint of the casual audience. So NRS doesn't know what to do
Yeah.
because they're like,
Yeah.
and again, if there really was a character who gave you great keep away and great defensive play style, what casual would
Yeah.
play that character?
Hmm. I mean, I would, but that's just me, right? Like I got told the other day, apparently I'm not a casual, but I don't know what I am. I just love Mortal Kombat, you know. But yeah, I mean, I always, again, like, you know, I just always, again, you're competitive, I'm not, but I always just look at the entire roster and go, with enough time and effort, you should be able to beat anyone with anyone, right? You know what I mean? Like that's just how I see it. And I'm very visual on screen. So, okay, so to counter that argument, so you said like obviously in MK11, you know, they had the ear of the casual, but it seems like a lot of people are noticing in this cycle with this game, it's in reverse. It seems like, okay, on paper, like when you see it visually, when Ed Boon's tweeting out certain what appears to be favorites, the average person is going, oh yeah, you know, that you know that's who they're listening to. Now, I'm not disagreeing with you. On paper, they could be doing that, and behind the scenes, they're like, you know, we don't really care what they think, right? Which is then bad in itself, right? You know, so then they're not even being straight up and honest about, you know, what they really believe in. But I don't know. I mean, I've had people come to me and tell me that you've been saying similar things that I've been saying. It's very curious.
I'm more
Right.
along the pro player point of view because I believe there's
Yeah.
two things. The problem is no matter the casual player is always going to play a different game than a pro player. You know, the
Of
casual
course, yeah.
player he only
Yeah.
plays for fun, right?
Hmm.
Now the problem is while the casual player may not do 50% combos, they play the game that's fun for them. You don't have to play, no one has to play the game the way the pro players do. If you want to throw someone and doing a combo, and that's not the most optimal way, you can play that way. But the problem is there is always going to be a way to maximize on everything.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
And so where is the balance? Like you can't basically say, well, the game should only have 20% combos, because what about the pro player? Right? So where is the balance? Where the casual player at a certain point has to accept there are just going to be certain things that are not going to be fun for them to fight at high level. You know, it could be fun, two casuals playing each other, but eventually, if there's a high enough level opponent who's dedicated themselves to that character and that tactic, it's going to seem like bullshit to a casual, because the casual doesn't want to play at a pro level. It's the same thing in basketball. How many people love to go to the court and shoot hoops with their friends, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
How much fun would it be to play Shaquille O'Neal, who gets the ball one time and you never... It wouldn't be fun anymore.
Yeah.
Most kids, you got a casual who's 5'7", he plays with his friends, now he has to play Shaquille O'Neal every day. Well, he wouldn't want to go to that court and play basketball anymore, right? It doesn't mean basketball's fundamentally broken. It just means that there's just another level. And that's how it is with fighting games.
So, yeah, and that's true. But I think also sometimes, like, and I would argue, I'm not being argumentative what I say it is, but what I would say is that you said, like, I'm not saying it's only got to be maximum 20%, right? What I'm saying is, though, like, we used to have, like, limitations on, like, it obviously, remember MK3, the run meter was a limitation on those combos that you could do. You know, if you didn't have enough run meter, you couldn't do the whole combo, for example, like, so Sub-Zero. If you didn't have enough run meter, you couldn't do his whole 6 or 5 hit, depending. And maybe this is nostalgia, I don't know. It just sort of felt like, it felt like Midway, at least, realized that, okay, we can have these things in the game, but then we're going to have good combo breakers that they brought in the 3D era. Then we can obviously move in 3D. We've got a parry. Now, I know people have come out and said, oh, but there's infinites and all these sort of problems. And it's like, yes, and I think one of the, I call them just lovingly the Condiment Twins, one of the Condiment Twins, he's like, oh, well, this is high-level play. And it's like, bro, this is, I think, the massive chasm difference between, like, a pro mentality that's going, all right, this is what I'm going to use to create a career out of. And sometimes not realizing that at the end of the day, it is but a video game that is made for entertainment. And people have chosen to take this game and create a career out of it, not the other way around. So I ask you this, how do we get both camps happy? Right? And again, this is just one part of the issue of MK1. Okay. Like, that's just one issue, right? So it's not the whole game's issue, right? But yeah, how do you get both happy so that it feels like it's, that people are enjoying it, and that if they want to continue, for example, like I can play Street Fighter 6, I can play Tekken 8, Tekken 7, and when I was in the beta for Tekken 8, I get destroyed, and then sometimes I win, and I have a ball, and I only ever feel like I lose because somebody had a greater skill gap than me. In MK1, I can literally go against like a level 1, and I can see verbatim them doing the same combo as I see someone that's put that same combo from, like, obviously a pro player or pro player type on YouTube, like 1-to-1, right? Now I understand that internet, like I know the guys were saying that the other day.
Because there's a lot of points you're making here. So for one, entertainment.
Sorry, man, my bad.
No, for one, entertainment. It was created for entertainment, right? And people made a career out of it. Okay. The inventor of baseball is Abner Doubleday. It was created in 1839. I assure you, he didn't create it for people to make $120 million. Right? James Naismith, when he created the game of basketball, I believe in 1891, correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, James Naismith didn't create the game of basketball for people to make, 70, 80, 90, $100 million. All these games were created for pure entertainment. People have made careers out of them. Mortal Kombat, created by Ed Boon and John Tobias, right? They did not create Mortal Kombat for a pro player to make money. Yep. Neither did Street Fighter. But the thing is, this is what people love. And in order for people to do what they love as a living, they have to monetize it. So they monetize it with their skill. The problem is the casual player likes to come in and say, well, hold on a minute now. Some of these tactics you're doing are complete bullshit. They're only
Yep.
bullshit to the casual. Fighting games, part of the fun of fighting games is that frustration. You're dealing with a
Yeah. Oh yeah.
you're dealing with a skilled opponent at super high level, and to be frustrated, to be challenged, to have to lab all this messed up stuff that's giving you trouble. That's part of the fun of fighting games. Now, to a
Yep.
casual, you're saying, well, that's ridiculous. I have to go in practice mode, lab this, lab that. These things are overpowered. But that's fun for the pro player. So if you take all
Yep.
that out, then only the casual has fun. So there has to be a
Well,
balance. So what NRS is trying to do
listen.
is find a
Yeah.
balance, but it's mainly
Yeah.
the only reason why they're looking for a balance is because they're trying to appease the pro player, the casual player, I should say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm sure you probably wouldn't disagree the fact that, like, at the end of the day, it is a game, and so there's a large majority of audience of casuals, if you will, that are going to be the ones that are bringing the money in. Now, I'm not saying that they have more of a say over these guys. What I'm saying is that everyone has an equal say. So here's an example. In like one of my favorite MMOs is Guild Wars, the Guild Wars series, right? I don't know if you play MMOs.
I do.
Now what happens is in Guild Wars 1 and in Guild Wars 2, what they do is that in PvE, so against the world, right? Your skills will have different damage output and fundamentals versus if you go into a PvP setting. They will change those things. As soon as you log in for the PvP lobby, suddenly like those abilities will have different nerfs or buffs depending on what they are, because they realized and recognized that these abilities in a PvP setting are going to be way too
Look,
powerful.
there is no PvE
right?
in fighting games. There's only PvP, and that's because they
Yeah.
they buff the power for the fantasy element in PvE on MMOs and ARPGs.
Yeah.
So they have to scale
Yeah.
the power down in a versus setting. Fighting games
Yep.
are not even comparable there. And also, I want to also point out one thing that I never think gets pointed out. When people talk the casual player and the customer, and
Yep.
they want to have fun, they want to enjoy the game, and all the time, whatever. Let's bring up Foxy Grandpa. I've known Foxy since Mortal Kombat 9. I
Yep.
can't tell you how many times this man has traveled for MK9, for MKX, for Injustice 2, whatever. Spent thousands of dollars of his own money. And even if he
Yep.
wins, he gets nothing. There's something, the casual player will never support the game like that. Never. So these people don't just love the game, they live it.
Yeah.
So when they have
I can see that.
when they have the opportunity for their hard work to pay off, hey, I traveled around for a decade, became one of the top players in the world. Now I can produce content on YouTube. I can stream. I can monetize off the hard work
Yep.
for my name to be known. For a casual
Yep.
player to say, well, you're just making a living off it. Yeah. Yes, they worked hard for that. They're not a bunch of bums playing a video game that weren't meant to be monetized.
Oh.
They worked very, very hard to be able to even get their name known out there to begin with. So for one, the pro player has put so much more. They put the same amount of $100 into a game as the casual. But when push comes to shove, the casual will always walk away from the game. They'll never support it. They'll never bleed for this game. So they'll talk that way, but the minute a new game comes out, they're gone. And what's left is the pro players left to play a game that was made for them. Look, I'm a big Sub-Zero guy. I had a lot of fun in the beta. Guess what? A lot of people were playing Sub-Zero because he was probably the most popular character, iconic-wise, right? Sub-Zero, Kenshi, Johnny Cage, Lee May. What does the casual do? This is bullshit. This ice clone move. What the fuck? I can't move, right? Okay, NRS says, we hear you. We're going to put the kibosh on this character. Then the game comes out, and you go in a debate and say, where are my defensive options to keep people away from me? They were there. But the crowd you represent said they shouldn't exist. So what you don't realize is you're betrayed by the very crowd you're fighting for.
Well, and that's true. I guess that's true, because I never saw anyone complain about that. I love the ice clone, right? Like, I'm not against them taking away moves or abilities, but then again, I came from the era, as you know, because you're the same age, of playing these characters with these special moves. Yeah, I want his ice clone, I want his ice puddle, I want his slide. I want all
But
of
what do
these
you think
moves,
the
his ice
casual player
shower.
says? What do you think the casual player says? Because it's not just offensive combos. I have seen, if you watch Foxy Grandpa, you will watch him
Yep,
beat people with not a single combo.
yep,
And all the casual players do, a famous quote on his stream, do a combo. You can't, right? They complain he's not offensive enough. He's not doing
yep,
any combos, right? So if
yep,
you do combos, the casual has a problem with it. If you don't do any combos, they have a problem with it.
yep.
So what
No,
is the answer
I know
then?
what you're saying. Yeah, well, no, I agree. Like in this season when I've been playing, like I got up to Grandmaster just because I wanted that damn skin, right? I decided I'm not using my cameo, so I just play Reiko. Now I'm not doing anything like I know people use Reiko and they do all these fancy stuff that people say is really bad, but I just play him old school. I just know my moves and I just read the opponent and I just do what
Because
I do.
that's how you enjoy
It's-
playing the game, right? That's where
yeah,
you get
yeah,
enjoyment,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
Is it not fair to say that you should be able to play the game the way you want, get to wherever you want to go, right? And if you choose, and if you say, you know what, I want to grind to Elder God next season, or if you say, you know what, I want to attend a tournament and do well, then obviously you realize that's going to require a bigger time investment, correct?
Of course, yeah,
So right now you're saying for the time you're willing to invest, this is your goals, you're happy playing this way, and for right now, you're happy achieving
yeah,
that goal. But
yeah.
is it not okay for you to play that way and for the pro player to play their way? And look, you're just
No,
going to
absolutely.
naturally have people that are going to emulate that, right? And
Oh
you're
yeah,
going to run into them. I
yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
so to regulate that out of the game, I mean, there's
Oh
there's
yeah, look, listen, listen, like as far as like Foxy goes, like I never had a go at that dude at all. Like he was the one that came at me, which was really surprising. But because I made that comment about, like I was talking about the thing with ketchup and mustard, right? So he came in to bat for him, said some,
oh, let me
well,
also at one point you mentioned
nothing
to
related shit in regards to what I was talking about.
yeah, but
So
you were
he like,
mentioning the other thing that they were there testing and about Wi-Fi and et cetera, et cetera. And let me just say this because I can speak on this. I have beta
okay,
tested MK9. I beta tested Injustice. I beta tested MKX, and I can tell you right now, they do not talk to you at all. And when I was there for MKX, we were there for a month. They do not talk to you about the online at all. If we ever played online at all, it was on a local server. I'm literally playing Rio. He's sitting right next to me, right? So there's
yeah,
no real way to fully test the online capability. One, two, they don't even talk to you about that because probably the times that Ketchup and Mustard were there, even NRS themselves didn't have a time frame. They might have been saying, you know what, we want to see if we can get crossplay available for launch. And then after they left, we just weren't able to do it. That's not a discussion amongst them. That's a discussion
yeah,
amongst far higher ups. They were only there to, hey, what is your opinion on these cameos? What is your opinion on these characters? Is anything too weak? Is anything too strong? You know what? These types of opinions are why they were there. The online playability, that was never a discussion. So to pull their feet to
well,
the fire, like, well, why didn't they say this? It was never a discussion. That I can promise you.
okay. So it wasn't the fact that they didn't test it. The fact is that we knew that crossplay was like pulled stealthily from Steam page, and everyone could see that, right? And then Foxy admitted, I actually thought they game tested the game a while ago, but he said in stream that no, they tested it 5 days up until the early access point started. What was it, September 14th, sort of 14th or something like that, 15th, depending on where you are in the world, right? So my argument back was like, well, so nobody, the guys that PvP, commentate for the every single NRS game that's ever come out that are paid and are there had literally not a single person. It never came up about the fact that some of these features not being tested but simply weren't present. That was my point back to them because it comes back to the perception that a lot of people have when they see now in this particular game cycle that Ed Boon is only retweeting some of his favorites and everyone else just gets ignored. Now, I'm not disagreeing with you about the casuals driving stuff. I have no doubt that's the reason why the Cyrax patch came in.
Mustard
Right?
came back from UFA. His first tweet was how awful the netcode is and
Okay.
how awful the input delay is. Ed Boon didn't retweet that. So
Is this from him doing the balance testing?
no, this is as the game right now. Ed Boon
Oh,
retweeting
okay, yep, yep.
Ed Boon retweeting means nothing. He is only Ed Boon will retweet if somebody tomorrow said, "Hey, I drew a cool picture of Scorpion doing this." Ed Boon would retweet
Yep.
it. It has nothing to do with where they're going with the game. He only retweets little cool things about the game. So if a popular content creator posts something cool, or if they're talking up the game, or if they're saying my reaction to new character and it's a positive reaction, he's going to retweet it. You know,
Yeah.
it's nothing to do. It's more like free advertising. All Ed Boon is doing
Oh
is
yeah.
so that's all it is. It's more like
Well, some
free.
people think some people think he's not even in charge of his Twitter, really. What do
No,
you think?
I can tell you he's in charge of his Twitter. Yeah, I
Okay.
can tell you firsthand he's in charge of his Twitter. But it has nothing to do
Yep.
with favorite. Ed Boon's tweets mean nothing. Nothing. His retweets mean nothing.
But
Absolutely nothing.
isn't that a badge of honor to those people though? Showing that yeah, the creator of the favorite game that other people are following. That has some weight to it,
I
don't
don't
you
think
think?
I don't think anybody cares.
Yeah, but that's well, I mean, from the other side perspective, people do. And I see other people also talk about it. Now, I'm not saying everyone's right, everyone's wrong, but there is a massive gulf and difference between these two groups of people, right? You got the pro players that obviously, and you said, like, I'm not disagreeing with what you said about Foxy. I actually watched that Foxy video a few weeks ago where he was talking about how little money you make about that stuff, and I watched and I thought, yeah, this is pretty good. This is like a good sort of like reality check, I guess, for people that are trying to get into it. And the fact that he could just simply get on YouTube and make more money showcasing that stuff. And look, that's fine. People could do whatever they want, right? The only issue I had with him is just how he behaves, right? Like you're not doing that to me,
I mean,
right?
when you talk
Like we
about
can
the
we can we,
casual audience, though, you have to again understand. There's no pleasing
well,
them.
okay,
There's no pleasing them.
well,
There's no way
could
to
you?
please a casual. Most casuals, I would say 95% of them, if not more, define whatever is not fun based on what is beating them. Again, a great example. Foxy played a Lee May player in the mirror. They have the same character. The guy the whole time complained that all he's doing is running away and zoning him, and it's the way he's playing. That's why he's winning, right? It's no fun. But yet
Yeah,
this guy only won one game out of a million. But yet the one game he finally realized he could win, what did he do? Run away, zone, throw projectiles. He did exactly what he complained about. You see, a casual only complains about things that are beating them. They're okay. A casual basically says, it's okay as long as I'm doing it to be successful, then it's fun. It is no fun if it is done to me. The problem is anything a casual does at a fun level will be taken to its 1 millionth degree by a top level player. And it will be considered fun at the higher levels, but if you bring that high level player down to the casual level and they abuse that tactic, the casual will say, this is bullshit. You see my point?
didn't didn't you say before though that the MK11 wake up mechanics were being abused at a high level?
Yes.
Isn't that like reverse?
No, it's the problem
Like,
is it was being abused by a high level, but what it was doing was causing a massive fundamental flaw in fighting games, where the attacker, the one who has knocked you down, the one who has earned his position, was actually at disadvantage.
okay. So where do we find the balance then? I
The
mean, again,
balance,
as I said to you before, I see people coming to me and saying, "Hey, you know, Tom Brady's saying some of this stuff as well," but you haven't told me any of that yet.
no, well, all I'm saying is the game needs to have more options in it. So I'm all for characters to have more defensive characters, right? I'm all for if you say, hey, you know what? Why is this guy allowed to get in on me, mix me up, pressure me, and do all this damage? Where's my option to
Yep.
keep him away? You should have that option. You should have that
Yeah,
character
and
that says, you know what? If you don't want to deal with Johnny Cage, you should be able to pick this character and make it very difficult for Johnny Cage to get in. You should have
so
that option.
are you saying that we shouldn't have a universal defensive option
The
versus
universal defensive options are just there. Up block is good because one, the reason why up block isn't useless, for when you have your normal anti-airs, you're down to your jabs. But there are just
yeah,
some characters that will jump in on you at some awkward, like Johnny Cage's jump kick. He can jump in at a close enough angle to which some down twos are not going to hit him, some jabs are not going to hit him. Now you have the option
yeah,
of
I've been
up
caught in
block.
those.
Up block
Yeah,
gives you a defensive option for one, certain overhead moves that would be safe, certain moves from the air like Omni-Mans that would be safe, and in certain jump in situations in which you would have to hold the jump in. Because of the angle and the attack that is being used, you don't have the option to anti-air it, which was a huge
yeah.
complaint in MK11. Now they give you up block, so now you do have that option. So it's a good defensive mechanic that works in several areas. Then you have
But nobody jumps at me in Combat League because they know that if they jump, then there's a chance that they'll get like punished, right? So most people are staying on the ground.
Well, also Raiko has a very good anti-air with his what is it, standing 3 or standing 4. So some
Oh yeah, yeah,
characters,
I love his kicks.
so
Yeah,
some characters people are just not going to naturally jump on because they're not going to have success. Not everybody has that. Not everybody's
yeah,
experience is the same. You know,
yeah.
for example,
Oh, I know.
if I'm playing Rewind at high level, I'm not going to sit there and say, "Oh, I'm going to mix up jump in or empty jump to beat his up block," because he's just going to stand and kick me out of the air every time, right? So
Yeah,
of course, I'm not going to leave the ground in that situation. Whereas against other characters, I might. It's different. It's not a universal situation, but it's there to help you in certain situations. It's there to help if Omni-Man doesn't have Kung Lao's low hat on the screen and he does his teleport, right? That's safe. Now you can up block it, right? Melina, she does her full screen Sai. She's basically hunting a combo that will do 50%, let's say with Scorpion, and it's safe unless you uplock it. It institutes, reward for your great defense. When you get knocked down, you have the ability to use delay wake up. You have the ability to use armor,
yeah,
and there are mind games with that. If somebody is trying to armor break you, they have no choice but to attack right away, and they have to do 2 hits. So if you use delay wake up, you'll beat that. Now, of course, the problem is not even the characters. You get put in the corner, someone does a combo and put Kung Lao's low hat on the screen. No character has any fucking option. You cannot armor, you cannot jump, you cannot delay wake up, you cannot anything. No, there's not a mechanic they could put in the game to save you from that, and that's universal. So there are problems in this game at a high level that go well beyond Baraka armor breaking you.
yeah. So when I was talking to O'Diddle, and I brought you up because, like, people have been coming to me and saying that you have been taking issues with the game, and his first response is like he complains about everything, right? So again, like, and I'm not disregarding anything you've said. I completely understand, and that's what Foxy's done. I commend him for it. That's good, but again, right, when like you said, the casuals navigate the plane, but in the reality, this is still an entertainment product. If people don't feel like it's fun or fair, they will leave. It doesn't matter how many times somebody in a pro scene or a high level go and berates them and says, well, you're just shit, you don't know what you're talking about. They'll just walk away, right?
They're
You want to
walking away
encourage
because of the
people to
online.
stay.
They're walking away because of the online.
Yeah, and that's a fundamental issue with MK1 because it's very anorexic in terms of content.
Well,
Like
they're walking away because it's
just
not enjoyable.
terrible.
They're walking away because one, NRS made a Combat League change. Did you hear their reasoning? We're making a Combat League change so that you can get a couple of extra matches on your lunch break. Who was that for? The pro player?
I never heard that. No, I never heard that. I never heard that.
That's the exact words on the Combat Cast. So I assure you, no pro player ever said that. That was for the casual.
Okay.
But then guess what happened?
Okay.
Guess what happens? Then they give you the first to 2, and the casual says, this is bullshit. So when it's first to 3, the casual says, too long. Okay, casual, first to 2. Oh, this is garbage now. I'm getting gimmicked out. You can never please a casual. That's proof right
Well,
there. They're leaving because they don't
so
like first to two in Combat League. They don't like how bad the online is, and they don't like the lack of online features. The gameplay
so
itself
so
is nothing to do with it.
so where do I fit then? Because I'm like when you're saying that stuff that you're saying the casuals complaining about, that doesn't bother me.
You fit in an area in which you're perfectly happy playing the game the way you want to play it. But
Yeah.
then when someone is basically copying and pasting a tactic used by a pro player that is a very solid tactic, you're saying, well, this is no longer fun. I don't want to play the game like this. And you feel that you are forced
No.
to play the game that way in order to fight what they're doing.
Well, I can beat people, and let me rephrase, because in case people think I've never said I'm an expert. I just play the way I do, right? As I explained, I just read someone. So the change to first to two, I like because it felt like things were dragging on for so long. Then we don't have Wi-Fi filter properly. Like I fought a dude the other night. It came up. It was 149 ping. Oh, sorry, 151 ping. So I could deny the match. I did the search again. I got paired with him again, and because it dropped down to 149, I couldn't get out of the match, right? And that's because we don't have a lot of other options to be able to filter
But
out
that's the
and
problem.
deny any ranks. Yeah.
The
So that
demand
adds to the problems as well.
the demand should be to fix that, not to make us
Yeah,
play less matches.
look, I agree, right, in that regard. But right now we
Because they're
have
not going to change it
betas.
back, but they're not going to change it back now. That's the problem.
No.
So the
Well,
casual says
so
make it first to two, so we can get out of these games faster. But when they do eventually fix the online, we're still stuck with first to two. They're never going to change that back.
is there a reason why you don't like first to two?
Yes, I don't like first to two
What?
because it doesn't emulate tournaments. So if casuals want to play, there's a mode called casual.
Yeah,
The
of
Combat
course.
League has made most games, their ranked mode will emulate their tournament series.
But
So
why do you think people are playing Combat League?
because they're playing Combat League, because uh,
Rewards.
there are significantly less people playing Combat League this season.
No,
Significantly less.
no, it's because
Significantly
of the
less.
reward. It's the rewards. It's not the amount of players. It's the rewards.
The rewards itself are also crap. There's a bunch of things wrong with the game.
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. But that's my problem too, because like it's not just a singular issue. There's a spider web here that just permeates to every part. So one thing just adds on and adds on and adds on, right? So when you've got rewards locked in a ranked mode, where obviously naturally guys like yourself and I get into it as well, just because who doesn't love getting
But the
fucking
point,
mad playing
the
fighting
rewards are
game,
one
right?
thing. The rewards are one thing, but the main point of Combat League is two things. It's got rewards to give the casual player something to strive for, but it's also there for the pro player that likes those sweaty tournament style sets, and it's also there for the player who's new to the scene, and it feeds the ocean of the competitive scene. New player
Why
starts
doesn't
it.
any
New player
Why
starts.
does any other fighting game have rewards in ranked though? Why only Mortal Kombat? I mean, listen, I'm not saying they can't have rewards, but I think they've done it very specifically. If their rewards was like, you get a whole bunch of dragon crystals every level, okay, cool. That's fine, right? That gives
But
the
other
people that
game, but
prefer to play online.
Street Fighter Six was just getting slaughtered for not having a third costume and selling it to you. And then NRS,
Oh yeah,
while the rewards are crap, is at least giving you a third costume through Combat League. It's like, well,
but
why
it
are they
is.
giving
It's
rewards and nobody else's? I mean,
no, well, okay, so it's psychological, right? It's the whole FOMO thing, right? So they get online and they go, well, invasions are shit. This is so boring. Might as well just end things right now. You finish the story, what's left, right? Apart from
the
grinding out
competitive
masteries,
part,
which
a
you literally,
fighting game
yeah, yeah,
is meant for the one-on-one. All that other stuff in the game, all that fluff, invasions, all the other stuff, towers. That's all for the casual player
and
who does not want to
that's what they.
engage.
Well, I don't see. This is. I will disagree slightly on this because you can have a hardcore Mortal Kombat person that doesn't like playing online. I've fought against people who just wanted to have matches with me that have destroyed me, but they never play online. But they're so gifted at the game, and they play against the tower, or they might go and practice for a bit or whatever they do. but they never play online. They're just perfectly happy playing offline, right? So there's different levels of hardcore within the community itself. It's not just PvP only against people. There's other aspects to it. People might get into Mortal Kombat for the story. People might get into Mortal Kombat because they want to collect all the character designs and stuff. So what I'm saying is, though, and this is the problem that happened with MMOs, is that they were catering to the raid crowd and forgetting that they created this entire massive world that maybe not everyone's into raiding. So they had to come up with other things for people to do in order to keep them engaged in the game. So
the fighting
NRS
game's point is to fight.
Yeah, but you can take those rewards from Combat League and put them in, say, the Titan battles, right? And I think they might have actually done that. I don't know. I have to double check if it was the same.
So
pallets,
then the pro
right?
player has to pay Titan battles to get rewards too? He doesn't deserve any rewards?
No, I'm saying they do. What I'm saying, though, is that if you put online-only rewards, and you've got a ton of Mortal Kombat fans that don't like playing online, but they want those rewards, then give them the option to earn those rewards offline, because they're not going to go online to show that. I mean, like, nobody cares about how you look anymore, right? The cosmetic is literally like, yeah, okay, whatever. That's how you look, right? So they do this because they want to push everyone into Combat League, because at the moment there's really not much else there, and they tie rewards to it. There's no reward system in Street Fighter. There's no reward system in Tekken. There's no reward system in Grand Blue or any single other fighting game, except for in ranked. You simply just rank up, or you don't move, or I think somebody said you might derank, I think, in Tekken, possibly. But there's no shiny prize at the end. See, the problem is, though, is that somebody gets online with Combat League and they're like, oh man, I really want that skin. It looks fantastic. And they're okay, they can handle themselves. But they don't just lose, they get demoted, right? Psychologically, that pisses people off, right? It's not about handouts. I would prefer it that you just don't move.
No. So Combat League is not everyone gets a trophy. Combat League,
no, I know.
Any form of ranked is literally about the work you put in to get there, right?
But no other ranked system has rewards, except for Combat League. So how come Mortal Kombat's right and everyone else is wrong?
Well,
the reward itself is to get better, not get a shiny trophy at the end, because at the end of the day, it is, at the very base level, you've paid for a game, a video game for fun.
You can buy pretty much, first of all, Combat League only gives you very, very few rewards. 99% of the rewards can be purchased using coins you earn playing Combat League.
I don't think you get Dragon Crystals from playing Combat League.
Not Dragon Crystals, but Combat League coins are those silver coins, those sapphire coins, whatever they call them. Right?
You mean the seasonal ones, yeah.
So you can, when you achieve to the next tier, you'll get like one skin and a bunch of whatever. So think of all the
background and shit like that.
Think of all the characters in the game. They're only really going to give you like 4 or 5 different skins. Right? Yeah. That's going all the way to Elder God. Out of all the characters in the game. So 95% of the characters get nothing for Combat League. But every character does have their own individual Combat League stuff, which you can buy from coins you earn in Combat League. The reason why the casual player is dropping out of the game right now is the same reason why good players don't like it. It has nothing to do with Combat League. It has nothing to do with the balance. It's 99.9. Nothing to do with the rewards. Nothing to do with the solo content. It's 99% to do with the online is shit. If you are a casual player, you play a lot of games. You are used to netcode from the current generation. And then NetherRealm is giving you netcode from last generation. So it feels sluggish. It doesn't feel good. Your connections are shit. Then you get Wi-Fi and other high connections. And you say, I don't want to play this fucking game.
Yeah, and I will agree with you. That could be also a lot of reasons why everyone, as you said, is having issues, including myself.
I got you, Peg.
Right? Because of that. Oh, sorry, man. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. But it seems like your main gripe is that just you're playing online and it's not fun because the pro player stuff is being copy and pasted and it's ruining the game. What would be your solution to that?
my whole solution, this entire thing, is not removing the combos. Just add like either adjust the the combo breakers to make it seem a little bit more akin to how it was in say MK10 or MK9, or come up with something else.
But do you
Like
know why they
nobody,
cost 3 bars? But do you know
like
why they cost 3
nobody.
bars instead of 2?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people are probably wondering that too.
They cost three
There's
bars
been no
because
explanation.
they cost 3 bars because now you can break out of fatal blows. Think how I understand the combos are killing you, but everyone in this chat knows right now how many times has a 3 bar breaker saved us from certain death because they have fatal blow, right? Many, many, many times. And I don't think anybody would go back to a 2 bar breaker, but you can't break fatal blows. I think pretty much everybody is okay with, hey, I'll take the 3 bars, but I can break everything, including fatal blow. So
Yeah, but
that's
you're saying
huge.
it's only one or the other. Like you can get out of fatal blows by just 2 hits too, as well, right? I mean, I've done it.
Get out of fatal blow by doing what?
Yeah, I've had. I mean,
No, I mean
unless
you're
I was
being
blind.
comboed. You're being comboed. The fatal
Yeah,
blow
yeah,
is
yeah.
going to
Like,
kill you.
oh, you mean so as you're being comboed, the fatal blow then is tacked on to the end. That's what you're saying,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay, so I was thinking that you're saying like they just activate their fatal blow,
No. No. No.
not in a combo, and then okay, all right, fine, it's fine. Like I understand that metric, and that's cool. But then again, like the 3 bars, like to a lot of people seems very expensive. Yeah, you could keep that, but what else do you add? And again, I go back to what I was saying, asking you before. You said yourself that there's all of these issues that you're having with the game. Is it just what you just said? The fact of just the online is shit, or is there more to it?
My issues are with
Because
my issues are with the casual player. My issue is, to your point, you talk about
yep.
all these defensive what's the word you use? The counterpoint. What is it? The counter.
Well, like checks and balances, right?
Okay.
Like you got to have checks and balances for any game out there. You can't have one thing heavily in one.
Part of fighting games is the universal mechanics, the universal checks and balances, right? And then there's also characters that offer checks and balances. You can normally have an Omega offensive character because generally there's also his opposite. And Omega is a great zoning character, a great keep away character, or a great trapping character that makes it tough for that offensive character to kind of do anything, right? But the casual player says, we don't want to be trapped, we don't want to be zoned, and we don't want to get in on somebody that's keeping us out. So NRS says, okay, gone, gone, gone. And then you say, well, now they just get in on me for free, hit me, and take all my life. That's your own. The people you are defending are the reason that happened. They got what they asked for, and then they say, well, this is bullshit. I'm not happy with it anymore.
Well, that I'm simply just asking for like better defensive options because I got used to them in K11. That's it. And then I got told, and also you explained yourself about like how they were so bad. Now I didn't know any of that because obviously I'm not playing at a high level. But again, right? Like at the end of the day, if somebody isn't having fun, it's not going to matter what a pro person says, right?
But
if they feel that this
fun.
game feels
we're not having fun. They literally this game is made with the casual player online based on what the casual player does not want to deal with. NRS realizes when a casual player picks their character, they don't say, what do? First thing casual players do, they look at the move list, they learn a couple of moves, they practice their combos, then they go online and fight, right? And they want to learn that way, correct?
Yeah.
No casual player says, what are my projectiles? And then practices standing across the screen throwing them. No, they learn their combos. So when they get online and they fight someone like Foxy that's standing far away and throwing projectiles, they say, this is bullshit. I want to get in, I want to do my combos. This shouldn't be allowed. And this is why the game is made the way it is. For those people.
Well, I don't know where I fit then, because like I fight against zoners, I fight against people on top of me, right? And like I'm not advocating that somebody like nerfs zoning or anything like that, but there seems to be a central point. It seems to be a very central point of focus with a lot of people, dude. Is this massive damage output? Now, to talk about, like I said, I met this guy called Breezy Kenju, right? And he said, because he's apparently was part of the scene, he was the one that he was talking about you, gave you props and stuff, you know. And he said that this game's damage output is rivaling like a proper 2v2 and a proper 3v3 game.
Absolutely not.
And
That
that's
is
why
not true. Look,
so?
I play Tekken 6 at high level. If I hit
Yep.
you one time with Bruce, counter hit back two, the match is over. I'm going to carry you across the screen all the way to the wall. By the time I'm done, you're going to lose like 75% for one counter hit. Tekken is merciless. Tekken gives you no mercy, and there's no breaker. There's no breaker.
Yeah.
There is no mercy for you in that game. So
why don't I feel the So why am I not upset when I lose in Tekken versus this game?
Because you don't play JDCR. If you fought JDCR or Knee, you would feel that.
I've fought some pretty awesome players that have carried, like as you said, like they've carried me, right? But I have still, like I'm not saying it's every time, obviously, but sometimes I've been able to come back.
But even
right? Because
my point is, they can all do that damage. Okay, they can all do it. Any green rank in Tekken can hit you one time and take 60% of you from your life, right?
Yep.
Street Fighter, you can get hit and lose 60-70%, right? It's in every game. It's in every game. You make the wrong mistake at the wrong time, and you're gonna die. That's been in fighting games since time immemorial. That's never gonna change. That is never gonna change. There has to be some consequence to your decision. Otherwise, you're playing poker with house money, and you're going all in every hand. Because you don't give a fuck. It's tough to make reads because then when you put two pro players next to each other, and there's no penalty for their mistakes, there's no way to make the right read. And then a pro player says, this game's the party game. I don't want to play it anymore. So there has to be consequence.
Yeah, look, I'm not asking for no consequences. Obviously,
damage is I'll be honest with you. People only understand one thing: damage. They don't give a fuck about situations. They don't give a fuck about anything else. The only thing people understand is punishment, damage.
Yeah.
That's what people understand, right?
That's the only way. So what do you say?
That's the only
taking me out of the equation, when other people are saying the same thing, and they're being carried for literally 12 seconds, losing half their health, and they can literally put the controller down and just wait, right? With no defensive options available, right? Yeah, but again,
that's every game.
This game has seemed to have taken high-level play and introduced it at the very base level. You talk from a high-level position because naturally you're gifted, and this is what you do, right? That's what Mustard or whoever it was said it to me. He goes, "Oh, you don't know what it was like playing Armageddon at a high level." It's like, no, bro. Because most people don't, right? Most people are not in that top tier bracket. Now, that's not to discredit anything you've said. And look, if Foxy's listening, congratulations, dude, for all the effort and stuff that you put in. But you're an arsehole to me the other day. But regardless of that, right? I understand that these people put the work in, sure, but they are
people say they love MK9. People that say they love MK9. We have the great pig of the hut in stream. I promise you, any casual player who says they love MK9, if they had to fight Pig of the Hut when he was playing the game, would very quickly change their mind. Immediately change their mind. Exactly, and Pig makes a great point. There is absolutely no right way to play a game. No official right way to throw a baseball. No official right way to program code. You do what works for you and enjoy what you do. That is
exactly. So then why does Foxy have a problem with things that I was saying that worked for me?
Because what he was saying was, you are asking for the NRS to do changes to more so favor what works for you and take away what's working for other players. See, right now you can do what works for you and they can do what works for them. It just so happened what works for them, when it goes up against what works for you, just happens to be superior because they're getting the most out of what they're doing. Right?
Okay,
So what works for you works for you. What works for them works for them. But for them, the casual to come in and say, "Whoa, no fair. what's working for you, it just seems to be working better than what works for me. But I don't want to have to do that. Well, that's the problem. You know,
Well, see, people think that I'm asking for handouts. I'm not asking for handouts.
Basketball, you could shoot free throws granny style if you wanted to. You can shoot granny style. There's no quote unquote right way. You can do whatever you want. But if you want to play and actually do well and be picked on a team, you have to actually shoot like a normal person, right? So in theory, in everything in life, you're always going to be forced to do something a certain way the higher you go, the higher your level
Again,
goes.
of course, I understand that, but what I'm saying is that like you're bringing up people that are extremely skilled. You said if you play this guy in MK9, you change your attitude. Like, it wouldn't change my attitude because like I fought great players back in the day as well, that just destroyed me, but I still kept coming back because it felt like I could figure out a way around them.
Do you know why you liked MK9? Does anybody in the chat know why MK9 was so loved? Does anybody really know why it was so loved?
Well, there's a variety of reasons why people love it.
Well, I'll tell you exactly why. The gameplay-wise, at the high level, had a ton of bugs. So many bugs that it was frustrating for us at high level to deal with them. It was incredibly imbalanced. But the real issue is there was something for everybody. If you want to zone, you had busted zoning. If you wanted to get in, you had busted rushdown. If you wanted to run away, you had busted runaway, right?
So it was unironically kind of balanced then.
It was not balanced in the power level, but the option was there. NRS has already removed options to play certain ways for the casual player. So now you're saying they want them to remove more options. So if you were to make a change to MK1, it seems like your problem is you're being comboed, and you don't have any way to stop being comboed for 15 seconds. Is that your main gripe with the actual gameplay?
Well, not just mine, but yeah, once you're caught, you're caught.
Okay, what do you think would be an acceptable solution?
Well, okay, so when I have talked about reducing like combo breakers down to 2 or 1 bars, everyone lose their shit. But
because
everyone
then all of a
seems to forget
sudden now you're breaking fatal blows for 2 bars. Unacceptable.
Okay, well, Killer Instinct's fine with combo breaking infinite amount of times.
Killer Instinct's still a different game. It's a different game. And also when you miss your breaker, you get locked out. And there's also counter breaker.
Of course.
Yeah. So there are
I know. There are mechanics. You've got to get the right breaker. And I was asking guys the other day, I said, okay, can you guys tell me, because I'm not, super skilled with it. I know you can do you've got to get the right breaker, depending, and
Believe
they'll give you ideas on.
I know all about the lockout system. As someone who did the Killer Instinct guide, I was at Microsoft, fun fact chat, I was at Microsoft in Ken Lob's office when he asked, how do you think, he asked about the game. He asked myself, Rip, etc. opinions on the game. It was me that's, back then, there was no lockout, counter breaker, nothing. My exact words were, you need some way to lock them out of just breaking infinitely for no penalty. Hence, the lockout was introduced. And they have so lack of creativity, they called it lockout. I was in that room. I can assure you, KI system has a very intricate system to balance the combo breaker. When you say you can just infinitely try to break, that is disingenuous. There is a penalty for it.
Well, I'm saying, what I mean,
you have a red lockout, you have a red lockout, and you have a yellow lockout. Yellow lockout lets you know you got the right breaker, but you were off, so you have an idea what they were comboing you with. Red breaker means you got the entirely wrong whatever, and lockout times are different. And then there's a counter breaker that can bait that. That is not in Mortal Kombat, so you can't do any type of a combo breaker system to rival Killer Instinct in a game like Mortal Kombat. It's not built into the game. It's impossible to do.
Well, with Killer Instinct, I meant that like it's not tied to a resource, right? If you fuck up, you get locked out, as you said, but it's not tied to an actual resource.
And if you get counter broken, you're going to lose 50%.
Yeah.
So in every game,
resource that you're trying to do.
In every game, including Killer Instinct, you make a mistake, you will lose the same damage you're talking about you don't want to lose. The difference is the mistake is different in every game. In Killer Instinct, the mistake is lockout at the wrong time, Counterbreaker at the wrong time. In Mortal Kombat, the mistake is this. In Street Fighter, the mistake is this. In Tekken, the mistake is this. So the mistake may change, but the penalty is the same, even in Killer Instinct.
Okay, so in that regard, how do you stop the casual base from walking away then? You know, the people that actually fund the game.
How do you stop
Right,
the
'cause
casual players from walking away? You stop the casual
Yeah.
player. Again, a casual, it's like sports. You may box casually, right? And it's fun.
Yeah.
Do they really want to? How much fun would it be for them to box Mike Tyson right now?
Yeah, I understand.
Not very fun, right? It's the same
then-
thing. It's the same thing with casuals. Casuals, it's an unsolvable situation. They want to be able
Yeah.
to play the game for fun, but also don't want to have to deal with tactics being done at a pro level. It's impossible to appease both crowds. You would have to destroy the game at the pro level.
What if you brought in some sort of system that like that was just for the pros, so it wasn't ranked mode, but something else?
There was. It was
Something
called
that-
Combat League, and the casuals got that changed too.
No. Like an actual, I don't know. Like, so you said that Combat League is supposed to mimic tournaments, right? Well, when you sign up for a tournament, you literally sign up for it. So what if they brought something like that in, where people would literally have to sign up for the actual league of the season, which meant that not any just average person could just wander in. They have to go through the process of signing up, you know, as you would a real tournament, and then they're locked in for that particular thing. Then that would absolutely separate the people that 100% want to play at a high level, and that for the people that want those rewards, they could put them in, say, essentially like a battle pass system, if you will, in the casual setting. So then people can, you know, they can play as many matches as they want, win or lose, doesn't matter, and then they just build up that battle pass in the casual setting, takes the rewards out of rank so they don't feel the frustration. This is the thing that I don't think you guys get.
Because you don't want to segregate the community. You don't want the casual community and the pro community, because the pro community, everyone starts casual, and you want a good flowing ocean of casual players getting into the competitive scene, right?
But having
to sign up would deter any casual player because it requires a commitment, and they would not probably want to commit to a whole season. Combat League allows them to get their feet wet without having to commit to a pre-sign up. You know,
I still think taking the rewards out would be better. 100%. No other fighting game does it.
But
and it's not necessary.
The problem you seem to have is not about the rewards. It's about what the pro players are doing are ruining the game for the casual. Because
So think there's a big picture here, right? You put rewards in Combat League. People that are after cosmetics because they love the cosmetics, they may not be super great at it, but they just want the cosmetics. Not because they're going to come online and showboat and show shit off like back in the days of World of Warcraft, where if you did a particular raid, you got all that gear. Everyone knew what raid you did and how awesome you must have been to defeat that boss, right? In this day and age, it doesn't matter anymore. And that's why they do these systems in place, so that way they're trying to either funnel people into certain areas or create that FOMO effect where people feel like, oh shit, if I don't do this, I'm going to miss out and I can never get it. Now, what they should do is they take it out, they put it in an extremely difficult PvE mode that allows the people that don't like to play online to do that. It means that there's no stress whatsoever on having to, like, you know, try and burn through a season to get particular rewards, which they know full well they won't ever get, which no other fighting game does rewards in a ranked system. So Mortal Kombat doing it, what that does too, is it means that people will create the least path of resistance. They'll get online, they'll watch the pro players, they'll copy what they do, they'll get in the game, and they'll only choose the tiny amount of people that the pros say you should use because they're the most optimal to use with the most massive amounts of damaging combos. And so if you're jumping online and you're going, look, I just want that skin, man. You know, I don't give a shit about my rank. I just want the skin because it's an awesome skin. It would look great on my character, right? And they're just getting steamrolled one after the other, after the other, after the other. So actually, you know what? I would actually prefer, here we go, that nothing change except take the rewards out, so that way the online people can do their thing, the offline people can do their thing, and both camps can still get stuff. Because the online people can still get the offline rewards. But an offline person who isn't very confident or wants to even engage in online they'll never get those rewards. That's the difference. One pool can get both, the other pool can't get, because some people, you know what it's like, man. People get anxious. They
Yeah,
can't get online. They feel like they're all thumbs and stuff, right? And no other ranked fighting game does rewards except for Mortal Kombat, which creates a level of FOMO, and then it creates a hell of a lot of more toxicity because
what does
people
that
are
have
just
to
like,
do with
right.
the argument? My point is the argument you were making with Foxy that the game is being ruined by the pro player.
Because that's the perception that people have. I already explained that. People see, at least you said it wasn't like that in MK11, but in MK1, we see a lot of attention being given to these people, you know, whether they get sent things, flown out, partaking in all these sorts of stuff, you know, and then we see a massive shift in the way the game handled from, say, MK11. Look, I fucking hated MK11, right? I only played Cabal because it was the latest Mortal Kombat game, and I just used him because, like Reiko, you know, I hadn't seen him for a while. You know, I just wanted to muck around with him, right? It wasn't because he was broken or anything. I never did any giant combo. I was just having fun with him. He's a great character, right? Lore-wise and everything, right?
Yeah, I guess I'm just
So
asking you, like, what is the
well, a lot of
solution,
well,
though?
I don't,
Let's tackle them both
okay,
one at a time, because there's two different things. You're talking about the rewards and then just the gameplay-wise, these massive
okay,
combos that are ruining the game.
my
What is the
brain,
solution?
my brain, yeah, all right. So my brain looks at everything, right? So you guys are all combat related. That's why you're coming at me, because I talk about that. But it points to so many other things. I would take the rewards out of ranked, right? I would take the rewards out of ranked, or if you want to leave them in there, and like I said, I have to double check. Maybe your chat knows this. I think the Titan battles is the PvE equivalent. I'm pretty sure the Titan battles are actually giving the Combat League rewards. If you guys know, let me know, right? And let Tom know, because
the rewards
yeah,
the rewards are second. The pro player is not going to care about the rewards.
exactly, right? That's what I'm saying.
But the
If they don't care, then either leave it in there and then have it elsewhere, right? So that way, like, dude, I wouldn't bother with Combat League at all. It's just I look at a skin, I go, man, that's a badass fucking skin. I want that skin, right? So I'll throw myself in there, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, I just want that skin. That's my goal.
Okay.
So yeah, sure. If you want to keep the combat,
a different reward system, and what else?
Swap the skins for, you either take it out, swap the skins, or for, say, dragon crystals, whatever. A lot of people do complain about the big damage output with the combos. Like I said, there's a guy that has come into my chat sometime, Breezy Kinju, who's talked about you. You know, he thinks highly of you, perfect legend. He reckons like he's part of the scene back in the day as well, right? Even he has stepped back and gone, yeah, there's issues. Now, is him as a competitive player wrong?
Yes, because
right?
It's the standard in every fighting game.
So what would you do? I mean, you're the expert in terms of the esports.
What would I do? What would I do? I would give the casuals the truth. I would say, listen, the characters that you want to play are not the characters you're playing. But because you did not want to invest any time into that style of character, you instead complained about that style of character. Now it's removed from the game. Now you only have the option to go toe-to-toe. How many casual players pick Katana and Kung Lao and play lame like Foxy? Zero. None. Would that make it harder for someone to get in? 100%. Right? But they don't do that. So a casual player who says, watch Foxy play. There are sometimes Foxy will play and there'll be literally zero engagement with the other player. He's across the screen the whole time, they can't get near him. That is a perfect answer for, hey, guess what? Now these players, I promised you, if a casual player played their friends the way Foxy plays, literally their friends would never want to play you again. Right? But it is a great way to approach what some of the pro level players do. Right? So even though you have the option to play like that, people don't. Why? Because they don't want to play that way. They want to get in and they want to mix it up and whatever. The downside to that is you're going to get hit more so than the other way around. So it really comes down to your particular style and what you want to do. Or maybe you do want to play Reiko. But let's say somebody's playing Johnny Cage on you or Kenshi, hitting you one time, you never get out. You should be able to say, Well, I should be able to pick an option that makes it tough for you to do this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what I try and do.
That option's not in the game.
But I don't change the character for that. I have the philosophy that anyone should be able to pick any character and beat any other
That's
character.
not, but okay, but that requires a lot of work. That's the difference.
Yeah, I know. I've said that.
A lot of work and knowledge. So to be able to
know.
do that, to be able to close the matchup chart on paper gap, requires a significant amount of time and a significant amount of knowledge and a significant amount of experience. Things that a casual player are not willing to dedicate. So there's
why
no
back in the day
possible
we
way.
could choose any character? Like back in the day, like okay, even go back in MK9 again. Let's not talk top here, right? Like, I mean, just, like you come across some really talented players when you're playing, casuals or whatever, right? So let's forget the top echelon, like where you guys are at, right? Just everyone else, okay? I could choose any character in the roster and never feel like I was at a disadvantage except for them just being better at the game
That's
than I
because
am.
the tier list matters less the lower level you go. The higher level you go, the tier list matters more. The lower level you go, the less the tier list matters.
True, and that's where the majority of people are. And at the end of the day, shareholders have got to get their money.
But see, the problem is shareholders get their money.
If a pro player wants it this way,
shareholders get their money.
But if the game tanks and doesn't sell anymore, and people walk away, right, and it starts dying off, I mean, no game is too big to fail.
But they're going to walk away anyway. They're going to walk away anyway.
Well,
the casual player will never stick with the game for all 4 years. They'll come back and try out the new content, but they're gone as soon as something new comes out.
What's a casual player to you then? Like, I'm a massive MK fan.
Well, the problem is, like Foxy brought out, you're not even really a casual. You're more in between, where.
Well, I'm just an MK fan, so I love playing Mortal Kombat.
Okay, but my point is,
so is that a casual?
No, because you put a ton of content out for the game. You put more content out than content creators who do this professionally.
No, forget my content, bro. I've always loved playing Mortal Kombat, whether I did YouTube or not.
Okay.
I would be considered a casual because I'm not an esports, competitor, right?
But again, you are not fighting people at the highest possible level. When you say when you said to Foxy, I play Street Fighter 6 and this doesn't happen to me, Foxy said if you play the right players, you would eat those 60-70% combos. The same as in this game.
Yeah.
So the point is that even in MK9, you're playing people of similar skill. And I'm not saying you're not outplaying them. Somebody can be an average player and not be considered complete trash. Do we agree? There are multiple levels, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
A pro player might consider an average player trash, but that player is actually average, not trash. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, yeah.
So you're fighting these players in this range, and you're saying, I've never had any of these problems. That's because the tier list is almost irrelevant at that level.
Yeah.
So at that level, it feels like you can pick any character against any character. In fighting games in general, the more skilled you go, had you had to play Rio or Pig or Kerbo or PL or someone like that, you would immediately feel this ain't happening beating any character with any character. You would immediately feel that. Me as a Sub-Zero player, to even be able to compete against some of those matchups, I had to put extensive time and still had to pick other characters for some of those matchups, right? That's because now at a lower level, I could pick any character I wanted to. But if I'm going to play at the highest of high levels, these things matter. There's no way around them.
So okay, and I'm hearing everything you're saying. So I'm trying to let me see if I can say this in a way that doesn't sound retarded, right? So it feels like then with MK1, and again, it's not just me that says it. I read the room, I see the comments in videos, I see the comments on the forums and stuff like that, right? It's not just the singular opinion. It seems like they've taken essentially what at least appears like high-level play, maximum hits, maximum damage, and it's been pushed right down to the low level. So when a low-level person that starts out with, say, a previous MK game or whatever, and they're starting against other low levels, they're like, oh yeah, everyone's fumbling and trying to feel, like they're just getting their feet wet a little bit. It feels like they're coming in and they're getting stomped by someone that, despite them being low level, it doesn't take very much effort at all to be able to pull off these massive strings. It's not the only time. Well, I'm not just saying this for myself. I've seen other people say it too. It's like it's like it's shifted down. So it's like, yeah, you can do all this flashy, high damaging shit.
So you're saying that
even
these
if you're not very
combos,
good.
you're saying these combos don't require much effort or skill to do, and they do massive damage.
Well, so here's the comparison, right? And this is, again, you'll be the best to answer this, right? I see a lot of people say this. They go, usually when you're doing these massive damage combos in, say, other games, you are actually expending like lots of resources, and it takes a higher level of skill to be able to do these combos, right?
Okay.
That's what these guys are saying, and yeah. So
Do you know why that doesn't happen anymore?
With what?
These combos taking a high level of skill to perform?
I don't know.
Because casuals complained the combos were too hard. The execution barrier. The execution barrier was dumbed down for the casual player.
Does that apply to Street Fighter, though?
In everyone. Why do you think they put modern controls in Street Fighter? Not for the pro player.
No, I know. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know that.
Yes.
Yeah, to introduce people to fighting games, to people that may not be sure. But you're still restricted, though, in modern controls.
My point is, though, they literally dumbed down the execution in every single fighting game for the casual player. Period. Because if the combos were super hard to pull off, then the casuals would complain you have to be Ninja Killer to do them, and they still wouldn't be happy. So the casuals don't want super hard combos, but then when they get done to them, then the combo should require skill.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I'm not complaining that I can't do, high level combos like, say, as yourself.
But I'm saying the people
games.
you are defending
fine.
Are the reason why these changes were made. Every single change to Mortal Kombat was done for the casual player. Every single one of them.
But why do you think that is?
Because they represent the loudest voice in the majority audience.
Of sales.
Yes.
Right? So, and that's unfortunately, but that's how it is. And I'm not saying, like, you got to remember too, you say it's for the casuals. It's obviously, just like how people have pointed out, well, it's obviously not every esports person, right? It's not also every casual person either. Like, I mean, I never went to forums and complained about anything like that from either MK9.
But the majority have. I mean, and you have to understand, the pro players have to have something. The game can't...
that's what I'm saying to you, bro. That's what I was saying about, what about an idea that that actual pro, there's a literal, like an actual pro thing that they sign up for. Nobody's saying that you can't have a ranked mode so you can actually go against harder people. But what if you add a specific mode that, just like a real world tournament, as you said, ranked mode is supposed to emulate a real world tournament? Then why don't we have that?
Because then you're playing two different versions of the game. You're playing there's already a version of the game called casual. In casual mode, you can select who you want to play or who you don't want to play. Hey, somebody's doing these bullshit combos on you. You don't have to play them. Next game.
Yeah, but true. That's true. I agree. However, right now we don't have the options to only filter to certain levels. And the other problem is that, like, the other day, like, I went to casuals, right? Just mucking around, having some fun, trying out different characters that I'm not familiar with. That's what I use it for as well. There was a master rank came in, right? And the reason why, obviously, as you know, you can tell because it shows what level they got to in Combat League. So they only had, like, 3 or 4 wins in casual. But they obviously got to this rank in Master. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, that's fucking nothing or whatever. But, I mean, I don't like to... I'm not going to belittle something like that and say, oh, well, this is trash. You just sleepwalk through that stuff. Yeah, a pro player might sleepwalk through that stuff. But to every other average person, that might be a fucking achievement. But the problem is, though, is that the matchmaking goes, oh, he's in casual now. He's only got 3 wins. So we're going to match him with, say, a low-level skill-based in casuals but his skill level is obviously far greater than the tiny amount of wins in casuals because he's gotten to that rank in Combat League. So there's matchmaking issues there too. So then when people go into casuals and they get steamrolled by some tryhard who's doing the same shit from Combat League, they're just like, what the fuck? I'm just a low rank. I just started off.
Okay,
like, I've
so
only got a
listen, I've
couple
already
wins.
I've already solved this problem a long time ago. It just will never get done.
Okay, all right. Oh, okay, yeah, tell me. Yeah.
The problem is, let's Chad. I got the solution. I think we've all talked about this before. The problem is twofold. One, when it comes to the rewards, right?
Yep.
If the rewards were just related to being able to spend coins you earned in Combat League, then it wouldn't matter what rank you get to, right? You would earn it just by playing. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One.
Yes.
Two. Whenever you reset a season every 30 days, in every other game in existence, when a season is reset, new content is added, the game is changed. Not an RS.
Yeah.
They give you the same fucking shit game that we're waiting for a patch for. And when you reset,
What do you mean? Like, what's an example of that?
meaning,
Can you give me an example?
Meaning, Diablo 4 Season 3 is going to have different mechanics that change how it plays in Season 2. Same thing with Diablo
yep.
3, Diablo 2, etc., right?
Yeah.
Fighting games don't do seasons. They just have a ranked mode. Well, NRS, for some reason, does seasons. When you when you reset everything, the first day of Combat League, you are an apprentice, and so is Ninja Killer. Do you see my point?
Yes.
So what's going to match you up with Ninja Killer? Because it doesn't matter what your ranks were, now you're both apprentice. Do you see my point?
Yeah, but that's in Combat League.
If Combat League didn't reset, hold on. If it never reset, then you would have people that are Elder God and whatever. They always stay in that category. They never fight people that are Grandmaster. They never fight people that are Apprentice, whatever. This way, the pros get to stay at their high rank, and the casuals can stay Master, Grandmaster, etc. They never cross paths, right?
Yep.
That's one. Two.
Okay.
Two. Yep. The rewards, like I said, just make it based off wins, and you get X amount of coins, right? So when you're playing, you're never losing, right? When you win, you get your coins, and when you have enough coins, you buy what you want, right? This way, you're never missing out on rewards. This way, you're not crossing paths with a pro player. You're able to play, like you said, hey, I got to Grandmaster. You said, hey, and I think that's good for me, right? You are not at the point where you say, I want to invest the time to mix it up with people at Elder God level, right? And when you are ready to take that step, you will then invest the time. You shouldn't have to be forced to play those players until you are ready to invest the time to do so. It solves that problem, right? Then when it comes to the MMR in matchmaking, I think NRS is kind of fucked with that. I mean, casual play, because it's going to change your record, right? It's going to change your record, right? You're not going to have the same record in casual that you do in Combat League. And that's just, that's its own MMR. So, but as far as Combat League goes, it's a fix.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, 100%. Because like I said, some people they don't care about online, but they want the rewards. So, I mean, if people want to, like I said, I wouldn't mind if they just changed the cosmetics to like Dragon Crystals. Because in Combat League in MK11, like I've got a screenshot on my desktop.
Sure.
They changed the reward system. So there were 3 skins, but the skin was tied to all 3 levels, so each 3 set, right? So the first 3 levels, even if you only did the first level, you get that skin because the skin was tied to say 1, 2, and 3. The next skin was 4, 5, and 6, etc., right? They changed that into MK1. So then what they did is they stuck the skin on the last of the first set of 3. rather than having the skin available for the whole 3. So if my goal, for example, like in this season, was to get the Natara skin, if it was set up like MK11, I would have got it as soon as I got to whatever level 4 is, whatever that is, right? I would have got it, right? And I'll be cool. That's it. I'm out. I don't give a fuck. Like, I just wanted the reward. I'm not here to prove anything, right? But because they've changed that, right, that's why I question certain things too. Maybe you have an answer or an idea why they've changed the layout from how it was. They also removed the crystals, like the time crystals, the setup that they had. When you went up individual ranks for some of them in MK11, they completely removed that in MK1. It feels like they're trying to like stretch things out.
They did it to monetize the game.
Exactly.
They did it to monetize the game. Because the equivalent of time crystals or dragon crystals, then they want you to buy it.
And that creates yet another level of frustration. This is where I come from. I come from that place of like, I'm the consumer. I love MK, but if it's fucked, I'm going to call it out, right? So all of these tiny pieces in my brain connect together. You guys might see, oh, it's just complaining about the combat and not that yet. But these things feed into other things. So then here's the picture. The guy sees the character that he wants. He can only get it in Combat League, but he's not very good. There's no way to earn Dragon Crystals anywhere else. They've already removed them from some of the mastery tracks already because they are trying to even make it even harder for you to acquire, so you'll open your wallet. So that creates frustration. And then they get online because they go, okay, look, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can get through these 6 ranks. You know, how bad is it going to be? And then they get absolutely destroyed, right? Absolutely annihilated.
Okay, how would you have them change how the Dragon Crystals are done then?
To be honest, I don't think they should be in the game at all. Like, wasn't it MK10 you just bought?
Well, how would you deal with rewards? How would you deal with purchase rewards that you have to purchase, is what I mean to say.
Oh, so just like a premium shop in general?
Yes, how would you deal with that?
Well, I know there was a big sort of like kerfuffle because when they did the change, like nothing was actually clear. You know, some stuff, you know, were they only exclusive to the premium store or not? So we got the shrine, right? Okay, so this is one of my ideas. I would take, actually, this would be perfect, actually. I would make it so that because the shrine is an offline mode, and if you didn't want to put it in the maesters, I would put either all the seasonal skins from the previous season into the shrine. I mean, I got like fucking 1.4 or 1.8 million gold coins just sitting there. But the shrine runs out. It's not because there's a limit. It's because they're doing it on purpose to funnel you to the store. So I would use the shrine more, right? To put previous rewards from a previous season for the seasonal stuff in there. The only thing that the premium shop be there for 100% is that whatever you're buying is absolutely, any circumstances whatsoever, cannot be found anywhere else in the game. Now, they said in the combat cast that previous seasons would roll back around, and don't worry, you'll be able to do it again. That was a fucking lie. Because it's not even 2 months out, and they started putting Season of the Spectre skins in the store. They can't even wait. You know, they can't even wait to like even just agree to their own terms that they've set out. So that in itself is a whole other issue as well, which then sours other stuff. You ever had something that just pisses you off with something and it just ruins the rest of the experience? Even if the rest of the experience is good, you can't get past that thing. It's just like, no, every time I think about it, it's
even
shit.
The casual and the pro. I talk about this, Tweety talks about it, lack of online options. That affects everybody.
Of course, absolutely, yeah. And it's like it has to be exclusive. Like whatever they're selling has got to be exclusive. You cannot earn it in the game like under any circumstances. I would even argue that even if you've got, say, excess of the gold coins, whatever, or the crowns, whatever they're called, I would make them transferable to Dragon Crystals. Again, they do it in Guild Wars 2, right? So if you earn gold or whatnot, you can then convert it to the in-game currency to then use that in their premium shop. So you never have to pay a cent, just as long as you're, good enough to know how to actually create an income for yourself in the game through farming, selling on the trading post.
NetherRealm has no say in this. This is how Warner Brothers has chosen to monetize the game.
And I understand that. But you were asking how I would do it. And that's what I do. I would do things that you give a lot of options that give people the opportunity to not spend real world money if there's an option for it. But if they are gonna sell something exclusive, like the Sub-Zero Deadly Alliance skin or the Natara one, it's got to be exclusive. There's nowhere else in the game you could get it whatsoever. But those ones are, but then they have also taken stuff that you can earn in the game, or they've gone back on what they've said previous, and they put them in the store. You know, going against things that they said, or knowing that we can get that we should be able to use our coin in the shrine to possibly get them as another source to get this stuff. And yes, you're 100% right. This is what they're trying to do, and it's fucking shit. That's why people have another issue with it. So, I would happily use any other in-game currency to buy the stuff that would be in Combat League. Straight up. 100%. Well, I'd be perfectly happy with that, right? Because that would be acceptable. You could make an argument, perhaps, that they could do a bundle with the Combat League stuff. I've seen people ask for that, actually. Say, look, just I'll pay you $10. Let me just buy the Combat League stuff. Straight up, right? I don't want to fucking sit there and go through that bullshit. Just I'll give you the money and do it. You can make an argument for that too, right? But it feels very mobile-like, and that creates then problems, which then feed into other issues, which then can exacerbate other issues in the game.
Street Fighter's going through the same thing too, and I'm sure Tekken will as well.
100%. Yeah, well, I did a video with the Killer Instinct skins. I haven't done one on the Street Fighter one, but I have mentioned it in streams that Street Fighter 6, you know, with the third outfit, what the fuck, bro? Like, $100? And that's probably US too. So in Australian, that's probably going to be an extra $40, $50 on top with conversion rate. That's disgusting. And it's good to see people calling it out too. That's really good as well, right? We need more of that exposure. But what I'm saying is, though, is that when you release a game that literally feels like an early access title with very little content, and that's why I call out some shills too. Oh, well, you know, all of this seasonal stuff is free. Yeah, I mean, you could have sex with a prostitute that's got like 10 venereal diseases, and she's not charging you, bro, but it's free pussy, right? No, it's bullshit grind designed to make you so frustrated with it that you're willing to start looking at the store, and that was proved 100% by them sticking the last seasonal skins in one of their first packs in the store.
Well, the game is incomplete.
Exactly, absolutely. There's like 30-40% sitting around some desk.
Everyone agrees with this. Everyone agrees with this. Casual and pro alike. They all agree.
Yep. 100%. So maybe this is the problem with me, right? So I don't just look at one thing. I look at the big picture. And maybe that's my fault. Maybe I don't say it the correct way, and that's okay. You guys are very specific in what you do, you know. So you see some bald, you know, middle-aged Australian yelling and screaming about the combat. But what I see is just another aggravation that adds to the rest of the aggravations. Like I said, if we could get the Combat League stuff without going to Combat League, I'd never touch Combat League. Ever. There's no reason for it, because I don't care for, like, sort of pro-style play. But because they've done that, then what you do is you get people who are even new to the game, like, burn out these big combos, and then introduce what used to be considered high-level play that, as you stated, if you came across these high-level players in, say, MK9 or other games, oh yeah, you'd change your tune. But that level of play feels like it's been dragged down to the base level because some people are just looking at those rewards and going, look, I want to do everything I can to minimize the aggravation. That's why you only see a tiny subset of characters in Combat League, because they are just trying to burn through that. I don't know if you call it grind. I guess you could call it grind. They burn through that torment to get that skin. Now, I've said this before. When in Season 1, I fought this Elder God guy, and I lost 3-0. It was a fantastic play. I got on the mic and said, look, man, just finish the round. I can't beat you, man. Like, you're so good, right? It was awesome, you know. And he wasn't doing the big combos. He was just all over the place. It was really good. He was just reading me perfect. It was fantastic. I loved it. It reminded me of old school, like, and that's how I play. You know, it's just who I am, and I was just, you know, happy, right? And I said to him, I said, look, I said, man, I'm just trying to get that fucking General Shao skin, you know, Grandmaster. That's all I care about. And he goes, why don't you tell me that, man? I want to let you win. I said, no, I can't do that, right? despite the bitching and moaning, I'm not going to just take that handout. I'm going to get there, and I did like a week or two later, right? And it was a very nice offer, you know, but that was my only goal, and the same goal for this season too. I'm like, no, I want the Natara skin. I'm going to be stubborn and old. You might appreciate what that's like because you're the same age. You're like, fuck it. Oh, you know, it's going to piss me off. I'm going to try and do it. And I did it, man. And that's it. I'm happy for that for me.
Sure.
Right? But I would never do it if those skins weren't there. I'd just be sitting in casuals all the time. Right? Like, you know, MK11, you know they brought down an unlocker, right? You know that. Right?
Yeah,
They brought down an unlocker. Right? So as soon as they brought that out, I'm like, cool. I'll start playing it again. Right? Because I didn't agree with what they were doing with that game either. The Crypt was a giant loot box. The Towers of Time and all this sort of shit, all of it was designed to force you to eventually start looking at your wallet and going, yeah, fuck it. I'll just, it's only $5. You know, what difference does it make, right? Who cares? And so that's why I've always called out shit like that. It's bad. But, and again, maybe it's my fault. It's just that I look at big picture, I see people's reactions, I see how things are interconnected to cause further frustrations. So you look at the combat and you go, it's fine.
The pro players and the casual players are united on this. We all agree with the predatory practices, the monetization of the game. We all agree with that. That's what we all agree.
Foxy said he didn't care. So either he's lying.
But he agrees that it's stupid, but he doesn't care because he plays the game not for the skins. He plays the game to be a professional and to make.
But shouldn't he, with his big position, call it out? If he calls it out, they would listen. Say maybe not individually, but then other people in his position would call it out too. You know, they're high up, and then maybe
he does. He made a video about Combat League being changed to 1st to 2, so he does do things like that.
No. So not the Combat League thing, like the store. You know what I mean? Like that part. Yeah, the monetization stuff. Yeah.
Oh, because there's just so many people that already do that. I mean, that's a plethora of people. There's no reason for someone else to add another voice to that.
Well, he's far more respected and known than I ever could be. Right? I don't care. I just like bringing awareness to shit. And he's like, "Oh, you're not going to make a difference." I said, "Well, if nobody ever spoke up about something that they felt fundamentally was an issue, then companies would keep getting away with shit." I mean, again, no company is too big to fail.
But again,
everything can fall apart.
The pro player voice is the smallest. This is up to the casual to make these type of changes. They don't care.
I'm trying.
They don't care what we have to say. NRS doesn't give a shit what any pro player says. They don't care. They never have.
And that's why, like, I think. And again, it's just my perception and other people's perceptions. They look at these guys, it looks like they get favoritism, right? So you're saying that they don't actually care, and I'm not saying you're a liar. I actually agree with you. But it seems on the surface, you know, when people smile through their teeth, that sort of thing, right? So they're going, yeah, fucking great, yeah, and they're thinking you're a dickhead, right? So that's what it sounds like you're saying. It's like, on appearance, everyone else is looking up and going, wow, you know, they're getting the fucking chairs sent to them. They're getting the beta access. They're getting flown out. They're doing this.
They get beta access because they have the most eyes on them. So
yeah,
they get the access.
That's fine. But then that also bleeds into other things that also people pick up on. You know, whether some of these people will call out issues or they willfully ignore them. Again, my brain is just like a spider web. Right? All of these things connect, and I do apologize to everyone. It's just how I am.
But again, everybody agrees with the game having a lack of online features, the game not having good netcode. Everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Can you explain the netcode? Can you explain the netcode? Because you said that it's not very good.
The netcode.
Like, what's the difference between its netcode versus, say, MK11's or, like, say, Street Fighter or Tekken's? Like, what's the fundamental difference?
So the difference
is because I live in a
when we play games like MKX, for example, and they gave us rollback netcode.
Yep.
That was good for the time, but the problem is right now, this netcode is worse than that. The input delay is atrocious, and the stability of the game is not very good at all. And Pig brings up it's a brand new engine. That's true, and the game was rushed out, so probably the engine is causing some, yeah, it affected it. The brand new engine of the game did. So the problem is right now, the input delay is high. Sometimes you'll play
Yep.
somebody, even if they're not on Wi Fi, the ping will say it should be like 60. You start off,
Yep.
the ping is 60, then it jumps to 140, 170, to 80, to 60.
Yeah.
It's unstable. And then, of course,
What are you
then
playing on?
PS5. And then, of course,
Yep.
you can't deal with you can't decline Wi-Fi, things of that nature. So the game just has a bunch of
Yep.
issues with its online, from stability to input delay, etc.
Yep.
So and then lack of online features. There's no practice mode while you're searching for a rank, while you're queuing up in rank games. There's online practice mode is quote unquote coming soon. There's no crossplay, so PC, Xbox, and PS5 players can't play each other. Just a whole lot of issues. Ranked, you're forced to pick your character, and you can't switch during your matches. But then there's no character individual rankings. You have to create a whole new PSN to rank another character up. So
Yep.
everyone talks about this. But when
Yep.
it comes to, yeah, we'll get you in, Pig. When it comes to the pro player, casual, do you
Yep.
understand how there's really no real way to balance? There's no way to please both sides
Yep.
because you're
Now,
going to have to kill the pro game. The only best way to do was to fix the ranked mode so it's not a new season every time, so that when you get to Grandmaster, you can stay there and you might fight some
yep. I
people in
say.
God. You might fight some
Yep.
demigods, or you might fight some masters, but you're in there. All right,
Should
Pig wants to
should
get on really quick. Pig, let me add you really quick. Hold on. Pig wants to
should
get in
I
here.
don't even know who that is.
Pig of the
Should
Hut.
they I didn't know. I don't know who that is, bro.
Oh, you never heard? You know Pig of the Hut? Oh my gosh, Pig, you're not cool.
I am a casual after all, bro. I am a casual. No, so I was talking to again, like, this guy was saying that there is a big difference between how it feels online than offline.
Oh, you have to accept my friend request so I can add Pig. It won't let me add. Accept my friend request on Discord. Then I can add Pig. I got you, Pig. All right. All right.
I feel very fucked out this week, bro. I really do.
Pig, what's your Discord name? I don't even remember what it is. God damn it, Pig. Let's see. But do you? I just want you to understand that a Pig of the Hut. Okay, it's just. Hold on, let me find him. I need a number though, Pig. I need your full Discord name. Got it.
How many people are in your stream right now, bro?
331.
Wow. Shit. Do they all hate me? I'm not watching. I don't want to know.
No, I wouldn't say that. What? Hold on. When I go to add Pig, what? Hold on, Pig. Pig of the Hut number 9726. It didn't work. What? Check the status of the username.
you're not having a senior moment, are you, bro?
No, he put it in the chat.
I had to ask my son about adding someone the other day too, so it's
No, I
all
know how
good.
to add him. It's just saying that he does. That's not his. Here, Pig. I'll just put mine in the chat.
Have you got your own Discord server, dude?
I had one, but hold
Oh,
on.
okay,
Let
because you got
me.
to just join that and then found you that way.
Here you go, Pig. Add me. Add me, Pig. Oh, Pig just. 9726.
You something's mine.
Pig, just add me. For some reason, it's. I don't know why Discord. It says, for some reason, Pig of the Hut 9726. I'm literally adding him, and it's not. It's saying it's for some reason it's not working. Check the name. Just add me, Pig. I pasted it in the chat. There we go. Yeah, I'll just text him mine then. Because it's not. Yeah, I basically Control C, Control V, the name he gave me. And it says. Got it. That's so weird.
This is less complicated than trying to add people to fucking
No, I mean it
ICQ
would.
back in the day.
I was putting his name in, but it just. All right, let me add Pig now. Here we go. All right, we got Pig in here. All right, so we've got Pig of the Hut. Yeah, we got him stream. Hold on, he's
So
muted.
who's Peg?
Pig was one of the best Mortal Kombat 9 and Injustice 1 players in the world,
Okay, cool.
and also one
Is
of
he is
the
he
top
is
10
he our
support.
age?
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, I'm here. You
How
guys
you
hear
going,
me?
Peg? Nice to meet you, man.
Hey, Faye, nice to meet you, man. Sorry, I was literally in bed next to my wife. I was like,
Oh
shit,
shit!
I gotta go, get up. Because if I don't, she's gonna be super fucking pissed. Like, why'd you wake me up? We're talking about Mortal Kombat, and it's not gonna go well.
I know that's why, man. Shit.
Yeah. So, hey, like, real quick, I just want to clarify a couple things. You guys were talking about netcode. You guys were talking about the game in general. Like, why was it Rush? This and that. Like, people just don't understand or follow or get this, that Discovery acquired Warner Brothers within the past like 2 years, and they went through a 12-month auditing process where they audited Turner Sports, they audited HBO, NetherRealm, like every entity that Warner Brothers owned that Discovery just bought. So when
Yep.
you're getting audited, like if you're getting audited by the IRS, you're getting audited by anybody, you're not doing anything. So that like puts you in a negative disadvantage of completing your product.
Yep.
And so it's a completely new game engine. And I think that plus the Discovery acquisition, it's been kind of ugly.
Yeah.
like from my perspective. But that so you get when you guys are talking about like the rush problems, the missing content problems, the internet issues. Why is it not like it was like last game? I mean, I just don't think they had time. But the thing is your new boss was like, "Hey, man, release a product. We need to go. It's been 4 years since you released a product," and I think that's
Yeah.
what in the end happened. I have no official word on that, but I just know how that worked, and I think that's a big part of it. So any like complaints, like, and that affects the casual and affects the pro player. It affects everybody.
Yeah.
It affects what you want. It affects what we want. But I will say this, man. Everyone that works in NetherRealm, every single person I've ever met in NetherRealm, whether they're there still or not, they moved on or just got acquired, they are awesome people. They are absolutely awesome people. They will make this right for a casual, and they will make this right for the pro player. Like, I completely have faith in January. There will be crossplay, maybe February, but I'm guessing January. It could be an early Christmas present. I have no idea. But
That'd
I
be
think
nice.
Wi-Fi filters, I think, are definitely happening first. And I expect that no later than January 31st. And I could see them adding like content, story, yada, yada. I just think, me personally, I wish the game was delayed 9 months.
Yeah.
Because if it was delayed 9 months, I think what the game we would have got would be the ultimate fucking game. Because I think this game is so close to Mortal Kombat 9 and has good elements of MKX that it's so fun. And the game is fun. And that's the most important thing for a game designer, is to make a game fun for the pros, fun for the casuals, fun for everybody. They want to sell 50 million copies. That's what they sold for Mortal Kombat 11. So, I think at the end of the day, they will. And I think at the end of the day, they'll finish the product. And quite honestly, I think they're going to use DLC to try to push future sales for a more completed game. But I gotta be honest with you, I don't like the side news that I'm reading, like about Anthony Starr and all that other stuff. Fate, have you seen that?
I have, yeah. That's it's really interesting because like when I first heard about it, I thought, oh, maybe he's just trolling people. You know what I mean? Just like what Ed Boon does. And then somebody else asked him on Instagram, and he's like, nah, that shit's flown on, Bray. And then, or whatever he said, and then there was at that recent convention, and he's like, well, I'm in Call of Duty, go play that. I'm thinking, okay, that's fucking
It's
big,
kind of,
Yeah.
it's kind of funny.
And so,
Hey,
like,
I
go
was
ahead,
going
man.
to say real quick, because I do have to go to bed soon, but I just want to tell you real quick. Listen, there's no right way to play this game. The way you play it, the way you want to play it, the way you enjoy it is the right way. Like in my business, we have a machine that we run, and we always have fun joking with each other because we all run it completely different. There's no right way to run a machine that I use for work. It's whatever works for you. So whatever the pros want, they're going to play it like they want. Whatever you want, you're going to play like you want. And one thing to keep in mind for the pros and the casual players is this is not a made-up number. It's 0.001% of the sales force. How many games they sell is the competitive player.
Wow.
So who do you really think they give a shit about?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking Mortal Kombat 11, out of any Mortal Kombat game ever released, sold 15 million copies. Dude, that equates to 14.8 million copies for the casual and 2,000 to 3,000 for the competitive player. So I'm just telling you the math. You can do the math. It's 0.001%. So like, I'm telling you straight up, they to some degree, they value the opinion when like Sonic finds something broke. If I find something broke, or like if Foxy finds something broken, they value that. They'll fix that, and that's kind of what happens. But if I've been bitching about Sindel for like 48 hours, they're not going to do shit. They don't care.
They don't care. No,
I mean, I'm just being honest.
Well, the unfortunate thing is that we should all be considered. like everyone, right?
Well,
But
that's a good point. It might be unfair for me to publicly say they don't care about me or they don't care about what Tom thinks, or it might be unfair for me to say that. So you might be right. But I will say this: when the CEO of Discovery that acquired your company says, "Oh, so we're changing something for 200,000, two to 3,000 people versus like 14.8 million,"
yeah,
it's like they're that guy's going to call the shots, man. That guy's writing the checks.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah, the
people need
beta
to
shows
understand
who
that.
they
yeah,
listen to. Beta shows who they
yeah.
listen to.
Yeah,
Pro,
and that's,
play, pro players said, hey, man,
But,
Kenji's kind of OD, Cage is whatever. They don't care. The only character
yeah,
that got nerfed
yeah,
is the one that casuals complain about. And look, Shiva, right? Remember Pig in MK11? How many pros complained about
yeah.
Shiva Stomp? Nobody cared. The crying girl got
yeah,
a nerf.
Nobody cared.
The crying girl.
Yeah,
yeah.
nobody cared at all. Meanwhile, Fujin is rocking.
Yeah, if
So,
Fusion got done on the crying girl, they would have nerfed him instead.
See, I think that's the problem too, because like it all comes down to perception. So a lot of people that aren't like, because you guys aren't like you guys know your shit. I have no fucking doubt, right? You know your shit, right? But then you got the flip side where the casuals look up and they go, well, Ed Boon seems to have the ear of only these people. Do we actually do we matter? Because it's not just like, oh, this feels like a broken mechanic. The person that's bought the product is looking at the whole product and going, this is shit, this is shit, this is shit, this is shit. Ed Boon's bitching about paying $8 to fucking edit a tweet, and then he literally will pimp out the Halloween fatality pack, right? And so that really sours people. When Foxy is talking the way he was to me, or O'Diddle
yeah.
saying casuals don't mean shit, I don't give a fuck about the store, bro. I don't care about that shit, man. Right? I love that accent, by the
Well,
way. This is why I do it, right? Like, that doesn't look good, right? Because somebody that's bought something, that's just going to make him go, yeah, fuck it then. If this is the way that the community is, they'll walk. And I don't think these guys understand that. It's like, look, I'm hearing everything you're saying, and I agree 100%. And I'm very thankful for you guys taking the time out to talk to me, because I want to learn, and I don't want to be right about the stuff that I see. But when you got guys like O'Diddle or Foxy acting that way, right? I saw people in the comments that were fans of him going, wow, no, Foxy,
well,
you're out of line. Like, I don't care if you're a good player. That doesn't mean to say you can't, you just can't be an asshole to people. Right? People like what Sonic Fox said about dog water.
But Foxy's point
right?
was, when Sonic Fox says people don't understand the game, what he's basically saying is like, again, if you don't understand the game at the highest level, you don't understand. Like, the top player understands the game at the lowest possible level. But the players at mid-level don't understand the game the way the top players do. So when the top players see a problem with the game, or what a casual player sees as a problem with the game, may not actually be a problem. It's just a problem for them. So that's why they don't see it the same way someone like Sonic or Foxy does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
but again, it's delivery, right? Like a doctor. Right, you see two different doctors. They go, oh, sorry, you're dying of, we got this really bad news. I'm so sorry, versus you're fucking dead in 3 months, right? It's everything. Yeah. Everything comes down to delivery, and to a person that spent money. This is what I said to Fox is that some people just can't buy anything. They got a budget. They go, you know what? Yeah, I can afford this really, and games are expensive. They go, oh, I can afford this one. Foxy's like, oh, they should be buying shit. It's like, dude, I'm not talking about fucking people on the street that are homeless, man. I'm just saying, like, a lot of people have to budget, and a lot of people have to go, can I really afford this? So if certain things aren't being talked about because, they've got interests with NetherRealm that keep doors open, that's bad. That's why people call them shills, because they are preventing the public knowing the full, like, what's available, for the premise of like, oh, I get to look good, I get the doors open, I get the handouts, blah, blah, blah. And then these people get the game, they get home, and they go, hang on a sec, this guy that's got 200,000 subscribers didn't talk about this issue. Why is that? And that's what I see a lot of. There's this massive issue and disconnect between, say, the pro players, the casuals, and the shills, and, the average consumer. And there's a lot of tension, a lot of issues going on. And I'm just seeing what I see. And I'm glad you guys, like, I want you guys to anytime tell me, no, this isn't how it is. This is how it is. Like, you said that Foxy's right. but you guys didn't come at me like him. And that makes all the difference. It means that when guys are listening to the stream, listening to the way you guys are talking, they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, I understand now. They're not hearing someone going, you're shit, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, the only person that matters is a pro player's opinion. You all don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's just shutting the door.
All right, that's a lot to unpack. I completely hear you. Let me tell you about Foxy. Foxy, if you met him, you'd love him. I know that doesn't seem real right now, but he is the most likable human being ever.
That's okay.
I know him. Yeah. I know him really well. The way he conducts himself in the community, the stream, this and that, his marketing, his Twitter, all that stuff, like that, he's playing into his personality in the game, like being the troll, the asshole, the this and that. Like he feeds on salt. He farms salt. He literally farms salt from players and makes it to like one-liners that people can type into his chat, and he'll play the audio that it originated from. So, but I mean, like, he's one of the funniest dudes I've ever met. Like, the funniest thing, in my opinion, he's ever done is wrote like, we had this thing where he would go and write Amazon reviews on kid products, like a water table or like a rain table, and he would make it about the rain matchup versus a different character, and parents were like, what the fuck is going on? Like, he would go into in depth, but he would write it so well that it would seem very like he's still talking about the water table, but he's not talking about the water table. He's talking about, like, this is plus on block, and this is and parents are so confused. We had the greatest time with that, and I think it got shut down. But just take that right there and understand that's who he is. Okay, that's fine. He is funny. And when he comes at you, he sees you as somebody as you're known to your community, you're known to the casual fan base, and he doesn't really agree with what you're saying, so he tries to get some salt out of you. You know what I mean? So it sounds mean. I promise it's just for fun. I mean, I know it sounds kind of shitty anyway. But
No. Look, I don't have hurt feelings about it. But what I'm saying is that, like, end of the
day, you guys are at the bar drinking a beer. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. Look, and that's fine. Like I said, I said to Tom before, I was watching a few weeks ago the video put out on not making much money when it came to that. Tom was saying about how much money he spent, about traveling and all that sort of stuff, and that's fine. Like, I had no issue with him. Like, he came at me, and again, I don't care what he said. It's just that, again, because if people are disgruntled with a product and then they have other people saying, even if some people are not going to pick up that he's joking, right? I thought he was just being just a dickhead, and that's fine, because you're going to get what you were given. I think that's fairly, like, you know different. But if you didn't know different, how would you really know whether he was trolling or not? Unless somebody had already said, listen, this guy's going to troll you. Don't get worked up, right? And that's fine.
Well, I mean,
but if somebody's listening to the stream and they hear a pro guy saying that their opinion about the game is dog shit, they're going to go, well, what? So I can't say anything? I bought this thing, and if I am worried about this thing, I can't say anything, right? That feels, it feels like they just have no voice. Even if he's joking, and that's fine. I fully believe you, but it's perception. Perception can do a lot of damage.
Yeah. As for the voices, Tom hit on it earlier. When we were in there beta testing Mortal Kombat X, Injustice 2, I can tell you straight up, at the end of the day, they don't care what we think. I can tell you straight up.
They don't care what we think.
That is the biggest misconception ever. They don't give a fuck. They will ask us to write down, like,
to say we had pro players tested.
Oh, okay.
I think optics. I think optics. But I don't know that for a fact. But I'm dead serious, and I'm not lying when I say this. We were given like a sheet of paper to write, like, what we would change, this and that, concerns, blah 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 blah. Not one fucking thing anybody said changed. Like, it was preemptive that they knew what they were going to do. So, like, I'm just saying that because we don't have as much power as you think any time we've ever had. Like, we just don't. Catch up, mustard.
And keep in mind, we're at the studio talking to Ed Boon, and we didn't do anything. So, I mean, if that doesn't work, what's the video going to do?
Like, you said the right word. You said the right word, Pig. Optics. It's the
Yeah, it's
optics.
not
That
that
is
good.
that is
But
that dude. You fucking nailed it. Because everyone else is getting the different optic point of view than what you're
yeah,
describing. If everyone else can hear what you're saying, then that would help people understand. It's like, listen, what we're saying is just a front. That's not what's really going on. And then it means that all of us, like, like it just feels like none of us are being respected, or not respected so much, but just we pay for something. It's just no one seems to give a shit from the people that are selling it. It seems. So then people go, is it
yeah.
Ed Boon? Is it NetherRealm? Like,
Well,
is it Warner Brothers? Like they might be nice people, but I always come back to the devil's advocate. Well, these people sign contracts to
yeah, but
allow and
I
have
do I
certain
do want to
things. Yeah.
I do want to go back to the fact that I know most of these guys that work there personally, guys and
Yep.
girls. I know most of
Yep.
them. They are great people with the greatest intentions, but
Yep.
they're also a game company and they're in the business to make money, which is
Yep.
another reason why I don't take offense to me, Tom, Rio, CD Junior back in the day, or all of us writing down all of our notes, and they don't give
Yep.
a shit about it. I get that. I take offense to that because at the end of the day, they got to pay their mortgage. They got to make money. They got to sell copies.
Yep.
Pro players, like I've already said, is like the lowest common denominator of like Salesforce. So they don't care
Yep.
about us. But at the end of the day, they are great people, like top of the line people. But
Okay. Yep.
also the microtransactions that are happening right now. Two things about that. That I don't think that's coming from NetherRealm. I think that's coming from their new boss. Discovery acquiring them. I mean, think about it. Discovery acquired Turner Sports, Turner, HBO, NetherRealm, all these companies. And on day 3, they fucking killed Batgirl. They killed
Yeah.
the movie Batgirl that was spent $175 fucking million. And they said, you
Mm,
know what? We don't think it's going to do very well. Fuck it. Let's just kill it. So,
that's a
like,
lot
if
of
they'll
money.
kill a $175 million movie that nobody will see except Ruby Rose or whoever the fuck was in it, like, that, no, I mean, what do you think? What else do you think? They're not going to give money to pro players. They're not going
Mm,
to listen to pro players. They're just going to try to get the 15 million back for this game that they sold for Mortal Kombat 11. The
yep.
other thing I want to point out is microtransactions is not another realm, not a Warner Brothers, not a Discovery problem. It is a gaming world problem.
Oh
Like
yeah, of
Street
course. Yeah.
Fighter Six,
Absolutely.
another fighting
Yeah.
game, 90. What was it? $90
A
for
hundred. I think it's
season
100.
three.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that is the most fucked up thing in like
Oh yeah.
no, but
I
there,
agree.
I don't see any like wild rage about that. But people want to like crucify and pitchforks and go in the front yards of Ed Boon's house about $10 holiday fatalities, which I don't agree with. I don't like the $10 fatalities. It should be $5, I think. But if anything, or maybe give us a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. True. Yeah.
but the thing is like it's not a NetherRealm problem. In fact, NetherRealm was, to their credit, the last people to join the microtransaction like BS. I mean, I know they had some
Yep.
microtransactions in the last game, but nothing like they have now. So
Yep.
I think that's coming from above. Ed Boon is not saying like he's not saying, guys, we need to charge all these people all these. That's not him. Like this is coming from above.
So how do you stop it? Like how does this sort of thing affect change? You know, like because
That's a great question.
like Foxy's going, oh, you're not going to affect any change, and all I said was, well, maybe I don't, but at least people can feel comfortable to voice their concerns and not feel alone. Which is good. I think that's important. That maybe we don't affect change. The only thing we can do as consumers is vote with our wallets. And because MK
Yeah.
is like my passion, I'm going to talk a lot about it. I called out the thing with Killer Instinct. They literally hot fixed out 10-year-old unobtainable figure skins for no reason, you know. And I thought that was pretty shit. I mean, it's a 10-year-old game. Like, you can't buy this
I
shit
mean,
unless it was like being sold somewhere else with like old stock, you know.
let me
Like,
ask
it
you
doesn't.
something. Would you pay?
Yeah, go for it.
Would you pay 85 to 90 US dollars for a game with zero microtransactions and you get everything?
Like anything that you can get in the game.
Everything.
Yeah,
I think that's the
100%.
answer. I,
Yeah,
I honestly
100%.
think that's the answer. I think you pay. I think what's going to end up happening is people are going to fight back about this stuff, and it's not just another room; it's global. But
Oh
I
yeah.
think what will probably happen is Okay, we'll buy the game for $60, or you buy it for $100 or $90, and you get every single thing that we release in the store.
Yep.
Like, I think that's a win-win for consumers. I think that's a win-win for NetherRealm and Discovery. I think everybody makes money. Everybody enjoys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would do
agree.
it.
Fuck yeah, man. I'd be down 100%. Yeah.
I think that's the answer. You're getting a 60% increase in your price. So, but
Yeah.
it helps pay them. But I think that's one way you can take care of it. Whether that happens or not, I mean, I do think that is going to eventually be the wave. But yeah. Hey, but listen, I got to wake up in 6 hours and work 16 hours, so I got to go to bed.
So do I. I'm going to head out as well. Fade, it was nice talking to you, Pig. Always good to hear your voice, my man.
Yeah, you too.
I just want
nice to meet you guys.
Just want to say, Fate, nice to talk to you. Good hearing your point of view from casual perspective, and I don't mean that as demeaning at all.
No, I know.
Tom, you're awesome.
All right, good night, everybody.
I'll talk to both of you guys soon.
All right, later, guys.
All right, guys. Gotcha.